Good evening, Penny.
Oh, Richard. What's up? It's been a while since you contacted me directly.
Actually, I'm reaching out because I have a favor to ask.
A favor? What is it?
Well, Jess's birthday is coming up next month, and I thought it would be wonderful if you could join us for the celebration.
Oh, you want me to celebrate with you two? Well, since you're newlyweds, why don't you just celebrate together? You don't need to feel obligated to include me, you know.
No, it's not that at all. I think Jess would be happier if you were there. Besides, now that we're married, I want to celebrate her birthday in a way that's a bit different from how we used to do things when we were dating.
Is that so? Well then, I guess I'll take you up on that offer.
Yes, please do. It'll be great to have you with us. I was also thinking of making it a bit of a surprise for her.
That sounds wonderful. Is there anything I can do to help? I'll gladly lend a hand with whatever you need.
Actually, there is something I was hoping you could help with. I remember your building has a party room available for residents. Do you think you could help arrange to reserve it?
Oh, that's right. There is one, isn't there? Sure, I can make the reservation. I've actually never used it myself, so I'm looking forward to it too.
Wait, you've never used it? With all the facilities your building has? It would be a shame not to make use of everything available. There's even a gym, right?
A gym, sure. But for a grandma like me, the exercise I get from daily shopping is exhausting enough.
Oh, come on, you're not even 60 yet. Age doesn't matter. And if you're interested, I would even show you some workouts. I actually go to the gym regularly myself.
No, you should focus on spending quality time with Jess. Otherwise, she might get annoyed with me for keeping you busy. She might say, "Why are you interfering with my newlywed time?"
I don't think she'd ever say that, but still.
Trust me, she would. I remember when I was newly married, my mother-in-law used to drop by almost every day. It was, challenging, to say the least.
But in this case, you're her actual mother, so I don't think it would bother her at all. And as for me, if it were you, I'd even be happy to have you live with us. I wouldn't mind at all.
Even if I were her real mother, having a family member constantly around can still feel a bit overwhelming. It's hard to relax with someone watching over you all the time, and living together can make things even more complicated.
But with you, I honestly don't think that would be an issue.
Just being able to chat with you like this from time to time is more than enough for me. I'm perfectly content with things as they are, and I appreciate you thinking of me. Oh, by the way, what time should I reserve the party room for?
Jess's birthday falls on a weekday, so could we decide on the exact time a bit later?
Of course, no problem. I'll wait for your message then.
You for everything yesterday, Penny.
Jess's birthday party was a huge success. All the hard work we put in together really paid off, don't you think? And we can't forget the help of her friends who attended as well.
Oh, I apologize for bringing along so many friends without giving you much notice.
It's no trouble at all. As long as Jess and everyone enjoyed themselves, that's what matters.
They were thrilled to get to visit a high-rise condo. They kept saying it was so cool to be there. Thank you again for arranging everything. It's all because of you.
Oh, I didn't do anything special. The condo was something my husband left for us, so really you could say it's all thanks to him, not me.
No, I don't think so. You helped us with the food preparations and all the small details, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. But still, I have to say, there's just something so impressive about high-rise condos. The view at night is breathtaking, and it's something people can only dream about.
It's not all benefits, though I don't work, so I'm flexible with my time. But I hear the elevators are packed in the mornings for people heading to work. Plus, in the event of an earthquake, I've heard it can be challenging to evacuate from high-rise buildings.
Maybe, but earthquakes don't happen all the time. I think the positives definitely outweigh the negatives.
I suppose in a way, having this condo gives me peace of mind for my old age. That security is reassuring.
Exactly, and if necessary, you could always sell it later. Having this place means you don't have to worry about the future. But I imagine you don't plan on living here forever, right?
That's right. When I get to a point where I need care, I'm planning to move into a facility.
Actually, Penny, if you'd like, would you consider moving in with us?
What? You mean, live together?
Yes, I'm sure Jess would love to have you living with us. And if we're together, there'd be no need for any kind of external care, don't you think?
Well, you don't need to worry about taking care of me. I have no intention of burdening Jess or you.
It wouldn't be a burden at all. I'd be honored to help you out, and I don't consider it a nuisance whatsoever. Please, let me take care of you.
It would be too awkward for me. Plus, this place isn't spacious enough for a family. It's perfect for a couple or just me alone. It's well suited for that kind of living arrangement.
But it's a 2-bedroom, right?
Yes, but the rooms aren't as separated as you'd think. There's an open connection between spaces that's more suited to a single person or a couple, in my opinion.
I don't think it would be a problem. Actually, I'm really concerned about you living alone. Elderly people on their own, there are so many things that can happen unexpectedly.
Well, we'll deal with things as they come.
Don't say that. It's not realistic. You'd be so much better off living with us, I'm sure of it.
I don't have the best memories of living with family in the past. I lived with my mother-in-law briefly, and although it was fine, we each had our own routines, and I found that it was difficult to adjust.
I'd adjust my routine for you.
What are you saying? Just having you two live happily together is enough for me, you know.
Are you really so set against living with us?
It's not that. Really, I'm fine on my own for now. There's no need to change anything.
You're so stubborn.
Sorry?
I'm offering to look after you in the future. An elderly person shouldn't be so selfish.
Richard, what are you talking about?
If living together bothers you that much, why don't you just move out? That would work for me too.
Wait, are you saying that you want to live here?
Yes, that's what I've been saying all along. There's a high-rise condo here, perfect for a family, but you're refusing to let us live here. Do you realize how hard it is financially for young people these days? If we lived together, we'd have a lot more breathing room financially. Don't you care about helping us?
It's not like you're struggling, right? Besides, both you and Jess are working, and you're able to live comfortably enough, I think.
Why should we have to pay rent somewhere when there's a perfectly good condo here that we could live in? And you're planning to go into a facility eventually, so letting us live here wouldn't hurt you at all. This place will go to Jess eventually anyway, right?
Well, in that case, there's no rush, don't you think? We don't need to live together just yet.
I'm saying it's a waste for an old woman like you to be living in a high-rise condo on her own.
Is that how you've been feeling about this?
I thought when we got married you'd bring up the idea of us all living together, but you never did. I hinted about it repeatedly, but you didn't seem to get it. You're telling me you don't care about your daughter's happiness? You're happy living here alone while you make her struggle with me?
I do care about Jess. I thought that was clear. But living together is a different matter entirely.
So you really plan on keeping this condo to yourself, don't you?
What do you mean, keeping it to myself? This is my home.
But you still have the inheritance that Jess's father left, don't you? So why not let us live here? You can't even make full use of a high-rise condo.
Has Jess told you she wants to live here?
Of course she does. She just wouldn't ask because you're her mother, and she doesn't want to hurt you by saying she wants you to leave. That's why I'm speaking up for her.
Then I'll talk to Jess directly.
Please don't. That's just gonna put her in an awkward position. She won't admit it to you, and if you do ask, I'll leave Jess. I'll divorce her.
What?
Don't interfere, okay? All you need to do is agree to let us live here. Just hand over the keys and everything'll be fine.
I can't give you an answer right now. I didn't expect to hear something like this from you, so I need time to think.
I didn't expect you'd be so resistant to the idea either. I thought you were kind, but it's clear now that it was just a facade. That's disappointing. Anyway, don't take too long to decide. I'd like to move in as soon as possible.
Why the rush?
That's none of your concern. I'll expect an answer within a week. Consider carefully what your response will mean for Jess's future. I hope you make the right choice. It's been a week, Penny. I've given you some time to think, so I'm reaching out to hear what you've decided.
So, about that idea of letting you guys move into my high-rise condo, I've thought it over, but honestly, I'm afraid I can't approve it after all. I don't think it's something I can just allow.
So, despite everything, you haven't changed your mind, have you? Seems like your answer is the same as before.
That's right. This condo you're asking about, it's something my late husband left for me. It's more than just a place to live. It holds sentimental value. Unless there's some extraordinary reason, I can't just bring myself to let Jess move in without any understanding of the situation, and certainly not without a discussion. I think it's best for you to sit down and have a serious conversation with Jess first.
So are you telling me that it doesn't even matter to you if Jess and I end up divorcing over this issue?
I haven't told Jess anything about this yet. She has no idea about these conversations we've been having.
Well, if you refuse to hand over the condo, then I'll follow through with a divorce. I hope you understand I'm serious about this.
What are you saying? This wasn't part of any of our discussions or understandings. You're changing things entirely.
I've already told you that I want the condo. How many times do I need to repeat myself before it finally gets through to you?
To threaten divorce over something like this, it's really too much, don't you think? You're acting so irrationally right now.
If you truly think it's something so minor, why don't you just hand it over then? Or do you really want to risk your dear daughter going through the pain and struggle of a divorce? You, of all people, should know how much Jess cares about me and how much she wants our marriage to work. Are you really gonna ruin the life of your own daughter, who's still in the early, joyful days of her marriage?
Fine, if that's what it takes.
So you finally come around? Does that mean you're gonna let us have it?
I'll go through with it, but I am warning you now, don't come crying to me later telling me you regret it.
Regret it? Why would I regret it, you old hag? Just hurry up and do it.
Just so we're clear, I'll be transferring ownership to Jess, not you directly. This doesn't mean that the condo will become your property.
Jess and I are married. I don't need to be listed as the official owner for this to work out fine for me. This'll do just perfectly.
I think that before trying to convince me, it would have been more appropriate to go through your wife, Jess. You're married to her, after all. Don't you find it strange that you didn't even bother to bring her into this conversation? Shouldn't she be the one asking for these things, not you?
The thing is, Jess would find it uncomfortable to come to you with this kind of request, so I'm handling it for her. Don't make me say the same thing over and over again. Unless, is this a sign that you're starting to lose your memory? Could it be that old age is catching up with you faster than you realize?
All right, I've heard quite enough of this nonsense. If that's how it has to be, then I will transfer the condo to Jess. But in exchange, I have one single request. From now on, I don't want you to involve me in anything else, ever again.
Fine, whatever. Just make sure you explain things to Jess in a way that doesn't cast me as the bad guy. If you twist things around and make me look like the villain in her eyes, I'll proceed with the divorce immediately. If you truly want to protect your daughter's happiness, then I'd advise you to follow my instructions exactly as I've laid them out. Penny, what in the world have you done to me? How could you betray me like this after everything?
Richard, weren't we clear on this? We had an agreement, remember? You promised not to involve me anymore, didn't you?
That doesn't matter anymore. I've had enough. And you still haven't transferred the condo to Jess, right? You promised her, and now you're backing out.
We never set a date for transferring it, remember? You're being unreasonable, as usual. We never had a firm agreement on when it was to happen.
How selfish can you be? I've just been hit with a divorce from Jess. Do you have any idea what that means? And you, don't try to pretend you didn't tell her everything about me. You told her, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I told her. Why wouldn't I? She had a right to know the truth.
This is outrageous! You're ruining your own daughter's life! Do you even care about her happiness?
Of course I care about Jess's happiness, and that's exactly why I told her everything. I'm not going to let you manipulate her and ruin her future for your own selfish reasons. Why are you acting so surprised? You really thought I wouldn't take action after seeing what you were doing?
So you don't care if Jess ends up with a divorce on her record? Is that what you're saying?
If she needs to divorce you in order to protect herself and her future, then yes, I am fully supportive of that. You're the one who put her in this position, not me. If divorce is what she needs, then that's what I'll stand by. The fact is, you're the one who's falling apart right now, not her.
I'm not falling apart! Don't you dare say that!
Then why are you texting me? If you're not in crisis, why would you come to me for help? It doesn't make sense.
I loved Jess. I really did, and now look what's happening. This is all happening because of you and your interference. I had my reasons for what I did, but you just couldn't mind your own business.
You had reasons? Oh, I'm sure you do. What are you talking about? Is this about the debt you racked up?
What? What do you mean by that?
I'm not stupid, Richard. I figured it out. Your behavior was suspicious, and I looked into it. You've been hiding things from Jess for a while now, and I could tell you were hiding something big. Why do you think I'm still upset? You weren't being honest with her, and that's something I can't let slide.
Then why didn't you just help me out if you knew? You could have been a little more understanding. I really need help. I'm drowning here.
Help you? You're the one who got yourself into this mess through gambling and reckless spending. You didn't think about anyone else while you were spending Jess's inheritance and making bad choices, and now you want me to bail you out?
I was gonna pay it back. I never meant for it to get this bad.
Really? Because Jess told me that her account balance was $10,000 less than it should have been. Don't you see? This isn't just about a mistake. This is about your refusal to be honest. You didn't talk to anyone. You didn't try to fix it. You just kept hiding it, hoping no one would find out.
I couldn't tell her. I just couldn't. It was too hard.
You couldn't tell her the truth because you knew it would hurt her. But by not telling her, you hurt her even more. Don't you get it? If you wanted to protect Jess, the first step would have been to come clean. Instead, you thought you could hide it and keep going. Well, look where that got you.
If you had just agreed to give us the condo, this never would have happened. Why are you being so greedy, Penny, you selfish old woman?
Enough. I am not going to stand here and let you call me greedy. You're the one who used up all your wife's savings without a second thought. You're the one who tried to take my condo without asking, without even considering how it would affect anyone else. You want to talk about greed? Look at yourself. You got yourself into debt, and now you're trying to drag everyone else into your mess.
That's not fair. I thought you understood. If there's a reason to help someone, it's when they're in trouble. Why can't you see that I'm in trouble? I'm desperate, Penny.
Desperate? You think that's an excuse for everything you've done? I have no obligation to help you, Richard. If anyone needs to help you, it's your wife, Jess. She's the one who's been directly affected by your actions. She's the one who has to deal with the aftermath of your mess.
Then please, Penny, I'm begging you, talk to Jess for me. Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I was wrong. I was careless and I know I hurt her, but I love her. I can't live without her. I'll do anything. Just give me a chance to fix things.
Why should I help you fix anything? You've done enough damage already. I don't trust anything you say anymore, Richard. Your words don't mean anything to me.
But I mean it! I really do! I want to change. I'll do whatever it takes. I meant it when I said I wanted to live together as a family. I trusted you, Penny. I thought we could work together.
Work together? You want me to believe that after everything you've done? You want me to trust you again? You can forget that. You can keep telling yourself that you've learned something, but the truth is you'll never change. Not without serious effort, and even then, I'm not sure it's enough.
Please, Penny! I need you to help me. I don't know what to do anymore. I just want Jess back.
And what makes you think you deserve her back? After all this, you still think you can just get everything back to normal? You think that's how this works?
I don't know what else to do. I really love Jess. I'm not perfect, I know that, but I don't want to lose her. I can't lose her.
You should have thought about that before you put her through all of this. Now it's too late. You're going to have to face the consequences, and so is she. But if you really care, you should have put her needs first a long time ago.
Please, Penny, I just need one more chance, please.
One more chance? You had all the chances you needed, Richard. But you blew it. Now you're going to have to deal with the fallout. You can't expect anyone to fix this but you.
I understand. I'm sorry. I didn't know how to fix things.
Well, it's too late for apologies. And as for Jess, you're going to have to figure my son-in-law Richard ended up divorcing my daughter, and he found himself left to shoulder the burdens of his debt alone. It wasn't a surprise to me, though I felt a certain level of sadness for what had transpired. I had seen the cracks in their relationship for a long time, but I had hoped things might improve. Unfortunately, reality had a different plan. I had always wished that they would work things out, and when they got married, I truly hoped that Richard would be the kind of husband my daughter deserved. However, that wasn't the reality. From what I've heard and gathered over the course of the months, Richard had developed a troubling addiction to online casinos and hostess clubs. His gambling spiraled out of control, and as a result, he accumulated a massive debt, somewhere around $30,000. I didn't know the full extent of it until later, but by that time, the damage had already been done. It wasn't a figure to be taken lightly, and as much as he tried to apologize, it was clear that both my daughter and I were no longer in a place where we could forgive him. I had seen how destructive his habits were. It wasn't just the money. It was the trust he had broken, the lies, and the emotional toll it took on my daughter. Richard, for all his flaws, still came to us on several occasions to apologize, seeking some form of redemption or at least a chance to rebuild his relationship with my daughter. He had failed, and his apologies felt empty. I watched my daughter grow more and more distant each time, and each of his apologies only seemed to widen the gap between them. My daughter had tried to make it work for a while, but as the years went by, she started to see him for who he truly was. When you're married to someone, it's not always clear to the people around you what the marriage really looks like behind closed doors. The cracks are often hidden, and the issues that build up over time aren't easily visible to others. But my daughter could no longer ignore them. Over time, she began noticing Richard's behavior more and more. His late nights became frequent, and he would sometimes disappear without explanation, his phone constantly on silent. It raised more than a few red flags, and there were times when they argued heatedly about it. My daughter was no longer the carefree young woman she had been when they first got married. She was becoming more anxious and suspicious of him, and who could blame her? She had every right to be concerned. Richard's actions weren't just a betrayal of trust. They were a clear sign of his lack of respect for her, for their marriage, and for their future. At first, my daughter struggled to talk to me about it. She didn't want to burden me with her problems, and I understood that. But as things escalated, she could no longer keep it all to herself. I could tell by the look in her eyes that something was wrong. When she finally opened up to me, I saw the pain in her heart. She had tried to make sense of Richard's behavior for a long time, but nothing seemed to add up. It was heartbreaking to watch. I knew this wasn't the future she had imagined for herself when they first got married. This wasn't the life she had dreamed of. One day my daughter came to me, frustrated and upset. She had just had another argument with him, and she wanted some advice. It was hard to watch her go through this, knowing how deeply she cared for him and how much she had invested in their life together. But at the same time, it was clear to me that she was slowly realizing that she deserved so much more than this. She deserved someone who could be a true partner to her, someone who would love and respect her. Richard was failing her on both fronts. I could see how tired she was, emotionally and mentally. It wasn't just the gambling, it was the lack of communication, the dishonesty, and the emotional distance that had formed between them. To be honest, though, there were moments when I questioned myself as well. There was a part of me that wondered if I had somehow contributed to this situation. If I hadn't been living in the tower apartment, if I had agreed to move in with them, would things have turned out differently? There were times when I felt guilty for not offering to help them more, but in my heart I knew that my daughter needed to figure things out on her own. She had to face the reality of her situation, no matter how painful it might have been. I couldn't keep enabling a toxic relationship, even if I wanted to protect her from hurt. When my daughter eventually decided to file for divorce, I wasn't surprised, though I felt sorrow for the end of their marriage. It wasn't that I didn't understand why she was doing it. It simply was hard to accept that the person she had once loved so deeply had become someone unrecognizable to her. It was a painful process, but in the end, it was the only option for her well-being. Staying in a relationship like that would have been even worse. She had tried everything she could, and she had reached a point where she had to choose herself. Her mental and emotional health were more important than anything else. Richard's debt, his addiction, and his betrayal weren't things that could simply be forgiven with an apology. Those were real consequences of his actions, and my daughter had to make a choice. And she chose herself. She chose her own happiness over the promises and dreams they had once shared. I respected that decision, though I knew it wasn't easy for her. There's a lot of emotional weight that comes with ending a marriage, even when you know it's the right thing to do. The thought of the future she had imagined with Richard was gone, replaced with uncertainty and heartache. But it was a future that wasn't built on solid ground anyway. She had to let go of that future and begin building a new one. After the divorce, my daughter moved in with me for a while. It wasn't ideal, but it was temporary. She needed time to heal, and I was more than happy to offer her a place to stay. She moved into my tower apartment, which had plenty of space for her to have her privacy. She wasn't used to relying on anyone for support, but she had to allow herself some time to breathe. I could see the pain in her eyes, but I could also see the determination in them. She wasn't going to let this define her. She was strong, and I knew she would bounce back. A few months later, though, my daughter told me that it was time for her to move out. She felt it was important to stand on her own again. I wasn't surprised. She's always been fiercely independent, and I knew that she wouldn't want to be in a situation where she was relying on me forever. But there was a part of me that didn't want to see her leave. I was worried about her. Still, I respected her decision. She had always been so capable, and I knew that she would make it on her own. She had learned a lot from this experience, and I had faith that she would find her way. Since moving out, my daughter has continued to impress me with her strength and resilience. I have no doubt that she will find happiness again. I hope she meets someone who truly understands her, someone who will treat her with the respect and love she deserves. But even if she doesn't, I know she'll be okay. She's already found happiness in herself, and that's more important than anything else. If she ever finds herself struggling again, I'll be there for her, just as I always have been. I've made sure that she knows she can count on me no matter what. I may not be able to solve all her problems, but I will always be there to listen and offer advice when she needs it. My role as her mother is to support her, even if that means stepping back and letting her make her own decisions. I've come to realize that sometimes the best thing you can do for your child is to let them go, to let them figure things out on their own. It's not easy to do, but it's necessary. My daughter is capable of handling whatever life throws at her. She's been through a lot, but she's come out on the other side stronger. I'm proud of her for that. She's learned valuable lessons, and I know she'll continue to grow and learn as time goes on. As for Richard, I'm not sure what's in store for him. He made his own choices, and now he has to live with the consequences. I don't know if he'll ever understand the damage he caused, but that's not my concern anymore. What matters is that my daughter is free from him, free to live her life without the weight of his mistakes dragging her down. She deserves the freedom to explore life and love on her own terms. In the end, what matters most is that my daughter has learned how to take care of herself. She's learned how to value herself and what she deserves, and that, more than anything, is the greatest gift I could give her. I've watched her grow, and I couldn't be more proud of the woman she's become. She's learned from her past, and she's ready for whatever the future holds. I know she'll find happiness one way or another. She's strong, and she's not afraid to stand up for herself. I have every faith in her. I'll continue to support her in any way I can, but I'll also let her go, let her live her own life, and let her find her own happiness. And if she ever needs me, I'll be there, no matter what.
Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey, Kate, made your favorite curry for dinner. Coming home soon?
Still at work. Don't wait up.
It's past 9. Everything okay?
Yeah, just busy. New trainee needed help.
You've been staying late a lot recently.
Can't be helped. Short-staffed.
The diner used to close at 8. Did they change the hours?
Sometimes we have inventory and cleanup.
I could pick you up. It's getting dark earlier now.
No need. My coworker can drive me.
Which coworker? I thought Mike moved to another branch.
Just someone who started recently. Don't worry about it.
Well, text me when you're on your way home.
Sure.
Kate, it's almost midnight. Are you still at work?
Sorry, just finished. I'll be home soon.
Working at the diner this late? This seems excessive.
Oh, I had the late shift today. I forgot to tell you.
Really? But you're supposed to be on morning shift. The manager's being pretty harsh.
We're short-staffed. It can't be helped.
You've been working weekends too lately. You told them you needed those off. Aren't they taking advantage of you?
There are even fewer people on weekends. What can you do?
Remember when you first started, you were so excited about having weekends off.
Things change. The restaurant's busier now.
You could try saying no sometimes, you know.
What's the problem? We don't have kids, and you can handle the housework just fine. It's not causing any issues.
I can handle the chores, but I miss spending time with you. We haven't gone out together in months.
We're together at home, aren't we?
Just to eat dinner and go to bed. I'd like to actually go out sometimes.
I'm tired from work. Let me rest.
Remember our Saturday movie nights? We haven't done that in ages.
We can watch Netflix at home.
It's not the same. You usually fall asleep halfway through anyway.
Because I'm tired from work.
I'm tired too, but
Then we don't need to go out, right?
going out with you would energize me, though.
That's not how it works.
Found your old photo album while cleaning. Remember our honeymoon in Hawaii?
Yeah, that was nice.
We should plan another trip, maybe for our anniversary.
Too expensive right now.
I've been saving up, actually. Thought it might be nice to surprise you.
Save it for something else.
You've been cold lately. We used to go shopping together all the time.
We're not newlyweds anymore. Things change.
Still, you didn't need to go shopping alone. I saw you got a new handbag.
Oh, you saw that?
Found it when I was getting the fall clothes out. You snuck that purchase in, huh?
Sorry, it was a bit expensive, so I kept it a secret. I'll go shopping with you next time. Forgive me?
Feels like I'm being played somehow.
Come on, I haven't bought anything in a while.
That's not true, though. I saw the credit card statement.
Are you checking up on me now?
It's our joint account. I always check the statements.
Well, I've been working hard at my part-time job.
Right. About that, the overtime pay must be good.
It helps. I'll head home now. Wait for me. Keep the food warm, okay?
Kate, what time are you coming home today? Let me know when you know.
Probably evening.
Aren't you at work right now?
Just on break.
I see. I'll make dinner then. Oh, and I finished the laundry and cleaning.
Thanks.
Found some receipts in your coat pocket while doing laundry.
You went through my pockets?
Just checking before washing, there was a restaurant receipt from that new place downtown.
Oh, I had lunch there with coworkers.
At those prices? Must have been some lunch.
The manager's being generous lately.
But the manager's being harsh, suddenly asking you to fill shifts.
It's fine. The pay is better, and if you have complaints, why don't you earn more?
I think I earn enough for us to live comfortably.
But not enough to buy designer brands whenever I want.
When did you start caring so much about designer brands?
I've always liked nice things. You used to notice that about me.
Yeah, but you were always reasonable about it. We'd save up together for special purchases.
Maybe I'm tired of being reasonable all the time.
Well, not multiple times a month, but I could for special occasions.
I doubt it.
Hey, I'll buy you something next month for our anniversary.
Really? You don't have to force yourself.
It's our 3rd anniversary. I want to celebrate properly. I was thinking of making restaurant reservations too.
Just the gift is fine.
Remember our 1st anniversary? You were so excited about that little Italian place.
That was different. We're still newlyweds.
Don't say that. Marriage isn't supposed to get worse with time.
I'm really busy lately. I'd rather just relax.
We could do both. Nice dinner and then relax at home.
Maybe.
Kate, did you go to the shopping district in the next town last Friday?
Huh? Why?
A colleague said they saw you there.
What colleague? Are they spying on me now?
Nobody's spying, they just happened to be there.
What's this about? You think I'm going out without telling you?
No, I'm just a bit worried.
About what? That I have a life outside our marriage?
That's not what I meant.
If you check my messages, you'll see I was working that day. It was even a late shift. I couldn't have gone to the next town.
You're right. Must have been my colleague's mistake.
Maybe it was my doppelganger?
I doubt that.
And this colleague only met me at our wedding, right? You're going to trust someone who's only seen me once?
Well, they have a really good memory.
For someone they met 3 years ago at a wedding full of people?
You're getting pretty defensive about this.
Because you're acting suspicious over nothing.
If you say you were at work, I believe you.
Even so, it must be someone who looks like me. If you're worried, why don't you check with my workplace?
If you're saying all this, I believe you.
Good.
So can you keep our anniversary free?
Okay, but I'm working, so evening onwards works?
Sure, I'm working too, so that's fine. By the way, next month is my birthday too.
Yeah, I'll keep the day free too.
Let's spend my birthday relaxing at home.
Fine, but don't plan anything expensive.
I just want to spend time together.
You're being clingy lately.
Wanting to spend time with my wife is clingy?
You know what I mean.
Actually, I don't. Help me understand.
You're always checking where I am, what I'm doing.
Because you're never home anymore.
I'm working.
Even on your days off?
What are you implying?
Nothing. Just miss my wife.
I need some space sometimes.
You have plenty of space during your overtime shifts.
What's with the quotes?
Nothing. Forget it. The restaurant needs a confirmation for our anniversary reservation.
About that.
Please, don't.
Something came up at work.
Again?
We're short-staffed.
You're always short-staffed these days.
What do you want me to do? Quit?
I want you to care about our marriage.
I do care, but I have responsibilities.
To everyone except me, apparently.
That's not fair.
Neither is canceling our anniversary plans.
We can celebrate another day.
Like my birthday?
Yes, exactly.
Kate, still at work? You remember what day it is, right?
It's your birthday. Sorry, but I have to work overtime today, so I'll be home late.
I see. Got it. I'll finish moving out by then.
Huh? Moving?
Yeah, the divorce papers are on the table, so that's that.
What? What's going on? Are you angry because I can't come home early on your birthday?
No. You're not actually working at the diner anymore, are you?
What are you talking about? I'm working right now.
I went to your workplace today. They told me you quit a month ago. When I asked for details, it was actually a week ago, but you've been going to work since then. You've been lying.
I'm sorry. Actually, I was hanging out with friends, and I was planning to tell you about quitting. I just wanted some free time before that.
Some friends, huh? Must be really good friends.
What's that supposed to mean?
You've had plenty of free time. I asked about your shifts, too. You were only working 3 days a week, basically. But somehow you've been working 5 days a week for the past few months? Care to explain?
Well, sometimes I just wanted to be alone.
Alone shopping? Alone at expensive restaurants?
Have you been following me?
Didn't need to. The credit card statements told me enough.
You're checking up on me?
It's our joint account, remember? Or did you forget since you started using it for your dates?
They weren't dates.
I thought something was off. Your style got flashier and you got colder towards me. You even canceled our anniversary plans last minute.
I was just a little late.
But I had no choice but to cancel our restaurant reservation, remember?
Well, yes.
Funny how you were working late that night, but the diner said you'd already quit.
I can explain.
You're having an affair, aren't you?
I'm not. Have you been suspecting me this whole time? Your colleague just made a mistake.
Actually, I hadn't mentioned this, but my colleague took photos and videos.
Oh.
Nothing to say now?
Those could be anyone.
And I put up a security camera outside our house this past week. You got out of some guy's car, didn't you? I was too scared to check before, but I just watched it. The man looked like the one in my colleague's evidence photos.
You've been spying on me?
Protecting myself.
That's not it. He's just an acquaintance who's been helping me find work since I quit my part-time job.
At midnight in his car?
It's not what you think.
You think I'd believe that?
You're going to trust your colleague over your wife?
After seeing how you've been acting lately, and you even kept quitting your job a secret.
I was going to tell you.
When? After spending another month working late?
You're making assumptions.
Am I? Then explain the hotel receipts.
What receipts?
The ones you forgot to delete from your email. Our shared tablet synced them.
I...
Still want to deny it?
I'm not having an affair. Stop these accusations. If you want a divorce, I'll sign the papers. But I won't pay any compensation. You're being ridiculous, making a fuss about an affair.
Fine, then sign it and put it in the envelope next to it. It's addressed to my parents' house.
Well, I'll still get my share of our assets. It's laughable that you want a divorce just because I met someone. Maybe you should get your head checked at a hospital. Noah, are you awake? You're off today, right?
Yeah, but what? The property division discussion is tomorrow.
Can we talk?
About?
Us.
There is no us anymore.
I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I'm truly sorry.
Are you apologizing because I found out about the affair?
Well,
Funny how you denied it so strongly before, so you were having an affair after all.
I didn't think you'd find out.
Well, I thought even if you had photos of the affair partner, you wouldn't know who he was.
What do you mean?
The license plate was visible on the security camera. Plus, you kept meeting your affair partner even after we started divorce talks. I really thought you were stupid. You can still be sued for affair compensation even after divorce.
You wouldn't.
Why wouldn't I?
Hey, Noah, I want to start over with you. I finally realized how shallow I was, and I realized how much you treasured me.
It's too late. We're already divorced.
We could remarry.
After what you did?
I want to try again.
That's impossible. But I'm surprised. The area manager from your former workplace was your affair partner? Good for you finding such a good catch. I heard he's even getting promoted to department head this year.
Nothing good about it.
Oh, right. He's married, but he said he'd divorce his wife, right? That's why you agreed to our divorce so easily?
That's not it.
Don't tell me he said he won't leave his wife. Is that why you're trying to come back to me?
That's not it either.
It is. I know everything. I saw your messages with him.
What?
After I found your affair partner and learned he was married, I went to meet his wife. She was furious and took his phone as soon as he got home. The contents were too disgusting to repeat. You two were even talking about remarriage.
At that time, we were just caught up in the moment.
Just caught up in the moment for months?
I wasn't thinking straight.
Clearly, he was crying and begging on his knees, saying you were just a fling and his wife was his true love.
He said what?
Shocking, isn't it? Your soulmate threw you under the bus pretty quick.
How cruel. And you said I found a good catch knowing all this?
Don't play victim. You're the awful one here, right? You wouldn't even admit to the affair at first.
That's why I'm truly sorry now. I was stupid to trust him.
And?
I've learned my lesson. I know what I lost.
You mean what you threw away?
Yes. That's why I want to change and support you now.
Support me like you supported me by lying about working overtime?
I'll be different this time.
So you want to get back together and avoid paying compensation?
That's not it.
Just so you know, even if we get back together, you're still paying compensation.
What? You'd take money even if we reconcile?
That's the consequence of your actions.
But I thought if we got back together...
You thought wrong.
I'm unemployed now.
Not my problem.
So what do I do?
Figure it out.
I can't pay compensation even with a loan. I don't know how many years it would take to repay. Plus, his wife is also demanding compensation.
You brought this on yourself.
No, I'm sorry. It hasn't even been 2 weeks since we separated. Can people's feelings change so quickly?
You mean like how quickly your feelings changed when you started the affair?
Not that. I mean, since you decided to divorce.
When my colleague first showed me the photos, I thought it must be a mistake. So I tried to believe you, thinking it was someone who looked like you. But in proportion to that, your attitude got colder, and you started coming home later. When I heard you'd quit your job, my heart just broke instantly.
I never meant to hurt you.
But you did, every single day.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for hurting you, Noah. Right now, all I can do is apologize, but if you give me another chance, I promise I'll never betray you again.
Impossible. A woman who slept with another man while living with me isn't the Kate I loved anymore. Just thinking about it makes me sick.
Please forgive me. If you abandon me now, I can't go on living. My parents won't let me come home either. I have nowhere to go.
Maybe you should have thought about that before betraying everyone who cared about you.
After living together for 3 years?
You spent a third of that having an affair. You agreed to the divorce, but now that you're cornered, you're clinging to me. If you were really sorry, you wouldn't even think about getting back together.
What am I supposed to do then?
Take responsibility for once.
Noah, please.
You're mentally ill. Maybe you should get checked at a hospital. Goodbye, Kate.
Noah? Noah, please answer. I really am sorry.
Afterward, we discussed property division and compensation. Since her compensation to me was deducted from the property division, my ex-wife received nothing. Furthermore, since the property division wasn't enough to cover the remaining compensation, she had to take out a loan for the rest. Of course, since my unemployed ex-wife couldn't pay, her parents covered it. Including the compensation to the affair partner's wife, her parents paid about $30,000. My ex-wife now works at a workplace connected to her parents' acquaintance to repay the debt. She'll be paying over $600 monthly toward the debt, so she'll be working hard for several years. Since she's not allowed to live at her parents' house, considering living expenses, it will be a very tough life. But this is all the result of her own actions. I've blocked her contact information, so there's no direct communication anymore. But occasionally letters expressing her regret arrive through the lawyer. I'm tired of it, so I ask to have those letters returned. I pray I never see her again. Since then, I've moved to a new place and returned to single life after 3 years. The shock of being betrayed by my wife was huge, and I was down for a while. But, supported by friends and family, I've recently found the energy to enjoy my hobbies again. Where there's bad, there's good. Believing this, I intend to try my best again. And I want to show my gratitude and return the kindness to those who supported me.
Hey, Tom, are you on your lunch break? I've been thinking about you all morning. The weather's really gloomy today.
Hey, just finishing up some client visits and heading back to the office. Had 3 meetings back-to-back since morning. The traffic's terrible in this rain.
Must be tough driving in weather like this. Did you remember to take your umbrella? You always forget it when you're rushing.
Actually forgot it again. Got pretty soaked running between meetings.
Oh no, I knew it. This is why I always try to put one in your briefcase. There should be a spare one in your office drawer, though.
Yeah, found it. Thanks for always thinking ahead. You really do take care of everything.
Of course, can't have my hardworking husband catching a cold. Speaking of which, make sure you grab something warm for lunch.
Will do. The cafe near the office makes great soup. Might get that.
Must be tough in this rain. Make sure you don't catch a cold. By the way, we're still good for our date this weekend. I managed to adjust my schedule. Had to swap some appointments around, but it was worth it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be working overtime until Friday, but I'm taking the weekend off for sure. Got a big project deadline coming up.
Is it that department store account you mentioned? The one that's been giving you trouble?
Yeah, they're really demanding. Want everything perfect before signing. Been revising proposals all week.
You've been working so hard on that account. I remember how excited you were when you first got assigned to it.
It's a big opportunity. If we land this one, it could mean a promotion.
That's rough, but I'm glad we can still go. It's our wedding anniversary after all. I've been looking forward to having a proper date with you. We go shopping together sometimes, but we haven't had a real date in ages. Remember our last anniversary? That French restaurant was amazing.
The foie gras there was incredible. You were so happy with the chocolate souffle, too.
Oh, yes. I still dream about that souffle sometimes. The way it just melted in your mouth. And remember how the waiter accidentally spilled wine on your sleeve?
How could I forget? But they handled it so professionally. Comped our desserts and everything.
You were so calm about it, too. Most people would have gotten angry, but you just laughed it off.
Me too. Let's go to that Italian restaurant you wanted to try. You know, the one you mentioned before? The one with the handmade pasta and wood-fired pizzas?
Oh, I'd love that. But I heard it's really hard to get reservations there. People say you need to book months in advance. My friend tried 3 times and couldn't get in.
Actually, I made the reservation 2 months ago. We're all set. Called them right after you first mentioned wanting to try it.
You did? Oh, that's so thoughtful of you. You always remember the little things I mention.
I keep notes in my phone whenever you mention places you want to try. Been doing it since we were dating.
Really? Oh, that's so sweet. What other secrets are you keeping from me?
That's for me to know and you to find out. Keeps the romance alive, right?
You're such a tease, but that's one of the things I love about you.
I was torn between that and the place we went last year, but thought trying somewhere new would be nice. Plus, their wine list looked impressive.
That's perfect. Thank you for always taking me to such lovely restaurants for our anniversary. They're always so elegant and cute, and I love it. You really know how to make special occasions memorable.
Of course, I look forward to it every year, too. Planning these dates gives me something to look forward to during busy weeks.
Remember our first anniversary when you surprised me with that weekend trip to the hot springs?
You were so shocked when I picked you up with packed bags. Your face was priceless.
I couldn't believe you planned everything without me noticing. The room with the private bath was amazing.
The view of the mountains at sunrise was worth every penny.
You really understand my taste so well. I got such a good husband. Sometimes I can't believe how lucky I am.
It's nothing. Making my wife happy gives me energy to keep going. Seeing you smile makes all the overtime worth it.
Speaking of overtime, have you eaten properly today? I worry when you work such long hours.
Had a sandwich between meetings. The convenience store near the office has decent ones.
That's not enough. No wonder you've been looking tired lately. Should I prepare some bento boxes for you to take to work?
Don't worry about it. Client meetings often run through lunch anyway.
I think I'll wear that dress you bought me yesterday. I'll make sure my hair and makeup are perfect, too. Might try that new hairstyle I've been practicing.
Glad you like that dress. It was worth buying. The color really suits you and the cut is elegant.
The saleswoman was so helpful, wasn't she? She knew exactly what would look good on me.
She's been working there for years, always remembers what you like.
Yes, I love it, but I decided to save it for special occasions only. I want to keep it looking new and fresh. The material seems delicate.
Well, it was quite expensive. The saleswoman said it's imported from Italy.
You know, every time I look at it hanging in the closet, I smile. It reminds me of how you always spoil me.
You deserve to be spoiled sometimes.
It's perfect for our anniversary, though. The design is elegant enough for a nice restaurant. The length is just right, too. Not too formal, but still sophisticated.
Then I'll wear my favorite jacket, too. I can't remember the last time we both dressed up for a date. Getting excited already. Might even get my shoes polished.
Oh, the dark blue one? Oh, that looks so good on you. Remember when we bought it?
For my promotion celebration 2 years ago, you insisted I needed something special.
Thanks for all the other things you bought me too. The shoes and makeup and everything. You're always so generous.
You work so hard taking care of our home, it's my way of saying thanks. I work hard so I can see you happy. You deserve nice things.
Remember when we first got married? We could barely afford to eat out. Now look at us.
Those instant noodle dinners don't seem so long ago.
But they were still romantic somehow. Just being together made everything special.
We've come a long way since then.
I love you, Tom. I'll work harder on my cooking too. This week I'll make all your favorites for dinner. Planning to try that new recipe you mentioned.
Awesome, but eat without me, okay? I probably won't be home until after 9. This project is really demanding.
That late again? You've been working such long hours lately.
Can't be helped. End of quarter is always busy.
Sales work is tough, isn't it? You've been working such long hours lately.
Running around meeting clients all day is physically demanding. Dealing with customers can be mentally draining too, but I think it suits me. At least I get to move around instead of being stuck at a desk.
Do you still get nervous before big presentations, like you used to when you first started?
Sometimes, but experience helps. I know what clients want to hear now.
You've grown so much in your career. Remember how stressed you were during your first year?
Those were rough times. Could barely sleep before important meetings.
Now look at you, leading major accounts, mentoring new staff.
Still have a lot to learn, though. The industry keeps changing.
Then I'll prepare nutritious meals to keep your energy up. Do you want light and healthy or hearty portions? I can always adjust based on how tired you are.
Hearty portions, please. I need the energy for all these meetings.
Got it. I'll make sure to include lots of meat to keep your strength up. Should I make extra for lunch boxes too?
That would be great. Been spending too much on takeout lately.
I'll prepare some side dishes that keep well too. Oh, and I bought those supplements you like.
The vitamin C ones? Perfect timing with all this rain.
Get home safe. Text me when you're heading back.
Will do. Don't wait up if I'm too late.
Tom, would it be okay if dinner is just frozen food today? I know you were looking forward to the beef stew.
That's totally fine. Don't worry about it at all.
Sorry, I just don't have the energy to cook. There's frozen yakisoba and dumplings in the freezer you can heat up. They're the good brand from that specialty store.
What's wrong? Are you feeling sick? You seemed fine this morning.
I've been feeling really sluggish and don't want to move. I don't have much of a fever, just slightly elevated temperature. But I keep feeling worse and I don't think I'll recover by tonight. My whole body feels heavy.
Oh, might be a cold. Do you have chills? Should I pick up some medicine on my way home?
A bit. My back feels shivery, so I got out my winter cardigan. I've been drinking tea nonstop because I'm so cold. Can't seem to get warm no matter what.
Did you take your temperature? What does the thermometer say?
37.8 degrees Celsius. Not too high, but definitely not normal.
That sounds like your fever might go up. You should get warm and rest. Don't worry about housework or anything else.
I feel bad, though. The laundry's piling up and the living room needs vacuuming.
Leave it. Your health comes first. We can catch up on chores later.
I will. Sorry I couldn't make dinner. I know you were looking forward to a home-cooked meal.
Don't worry about that. I can handle feeding myself. More importantly, do we have anything you can eat? Should I grab some porridge from the convenience store?
I was thinking of making porridge from the frozen rice we have. There's also some Jell-O in the fridge. I can get by on that. Maybe some of that sports drink you bought last week.
The blue one or the red one? I can get more if you're running low.
The blue one. Still have most of the bottle left.
Try to eat something even if you're not hungry. You need nutrients to fight off the cold. Remember last time you got sick and didn't eat enough?
Yeah, I'll try. Oh man, I hope I get better by the weekend. I'd hate to cancel our date because of a cold. You went through so much trouble with the reservations.
If you eat well and get plenty of rest, you'll recover. And if not, we can always postpone to next week. Your health comes first.
But what about the restaurant? Won't they charge a cancellation fee?
Don't worry about that. Money isn't important right now.
But you specifically cleared your schedule and made restaurant reservations. It took months to get that booking.
That's fine. We can go another day and I can adjust work anytime. The restaurant will understand if we need to reschedule.
You're really not mad, even though it's our anniversary?
Of course not. What kind of husband would be angry about his wife being sick?
You're so kind, Tom. I'm so glad I became your wife. You always put me first.
I wish I could leave work now to take care of you, but today's schedule is packed. Can't leave early. Have 3 important client meetings.
The department store client again?
Yeah, and 2 others. Big accounts we can't reschedule.
What time do you think you'll be home? Should I wait up?
Best case, 10 p.m., but more likely around midnight. These clients are quite demanding.
That's so late. Will you have time to eat?
I'll grab something between meetings. Focus on getting better.
I see. Well, don't worry about me. Focus on work. Oh, I think my fever's going up. Getting dizzy.
See? Make sure to rest well. Take some medicine and sleep.
The room's spinning a bit. Might need to lie down.
Did you take any fever reducers?
Not yet. I was waiting to eat something first.
Take medicine first. You can eat later.
I'll skip cleaning and laundry today. I hope you don't mind coming home to a messy house.
Of course. I'll do the laundry tomorrow morning. Just focus on getting better. Don't push yourself. Sleep as much as you need.
Thank you so much, Tom. I love you. You're always so understanding.
Get some sleep. Text if you need anything.
Tom, come home quick. There was a fire in our apartment building. The apartment 2 doors down caught fire and there's smoke everywhere. I'm so scared.
Were you home the whole time? Weren't you supposed to be resting?
Of course, I was in bed with a cold, remember? The building alarm woke me up. There's so much smoke outside the window. It was scary. I could barely breathe.
What floor did the fire start on? How bad is it?
They said it started on our floor. The smoke is everywhere.
Are you hurt? Did you manage to get out okay?
No injuries, but I inhaled some smoke. They're taking me to the hospital by ambulance, so please come quickly. I was so scared. Everything happened so fast.
That must have been rough. But I'm not coming. And I'm not going home either. Bye.
What? What are you saying? This isn't funny, Tom.
I'm not joking.
What are you saying? Please come. I need you here.
I said I'm not coming.
You can't be serious. Your wife is going to the hospital.
Stop the act. It's over.
I am hurt. How can you abandon me like this?
You just inhaled a bit of smoke. Stop being dramatic.
How can you be so cold? This isn't like you at all.
Maybe you never really knew me.
But I'm being taken to the hospital. Isn't it normal to come when your wife is hurt? Why are you being so cold?
I'd consider coming if you tell me the truth.
The truth? I don't understand what you're talking about. What truth?
You weren't alone in there. I know.
What? Of course I was alone. I've been sick in bed all day.
Keep lying. You're good at it.
I was alone. What's going on? Why would you think otherwise?
Then who was that man you were embracing when you came out of the building? I recognized him, saw him a few times in college. He's your ex-boyfriend, isn't he? The one you dated before me.
What man? Tom, you're not making any sense.
Playing dumb won't help now.
You must be mistaken. There was no man.
I know about the fire. I heard the building alarm going off and all the commotion in that area. The sirens were pretty hard to miss.
What? You're talking like you were there, but you were at work. You said you had meetings.
Actually, I happened to be passing by for work. One of my clients is in the area.
No way. This can't be happening.
Quite a coincidence, isn't it?
You were there? You actually saw?
For someone who was supposedly in bed with a cold, you looked strange. Your hair and makeup were perfect. And you were wearing that dress you said you'd only wear for special occasions. Quite dressed up for someone who's sick.
I can explain. It's not what you think.
Please, explain. I'm curious to hear what story you'll make up.
I was just doing a trial run for the weekend. Wanted to make sure everything matched perfectly.
A trial run in full makeup and hair while you're supposedly sick with a fever?
I wanted everything to be perfect for our anniversary.
Even if that were true, what about your ex-boyfriend? Weren't you supposed to have broken up before we started dating? He had his arm around your waist like you were lovers. That's not how you hold someone you haven't seen in years.
It's not like that. You're misunderstanding. He's just a friend who came to check on me. It's just a misunderstanding. He heard I was sick and wanted to bring medicine.
Bringing medicine requires holding each other that intimately?
I was scared because of the fire. He was just comforting me.
Then explain what I'm misunderstanding. That definitely wasn't a friendly distance. You were clinging to each other like lovers. I saw how you looked at each other.
I'm sorry. I invited him to the apartment. I shouldn't have.
Finally, some honesty. Keep going. Just say it clearly. What kind of relationship is it? Stop trying to hide it.
Well, it's an affair. We've been seeing each other.
How convenient that you decide to be honest only after being caught.
I never meant for this to happen.
When did it start? How long have you been lying to me?
About 6 months ago, we ran into each other at a drinking party with friends. One thing led to another.
6 months! Half a year of lies.
It wasn't planned. We just started talking about old times.
And somehow ended up in an affair just like that?
He asked for my number, said he wanted to catch up.
And you gave it to him, even though you're married?
I thought it would be just a friendly catch-up, but then...
Why did you get back together? Were you unhappy with me? What did I do wrong?
It's not that I was unhappy. I just can't resist his face. He's a model, you know. He's really popular on social media now. Everyone follows him.
Everyone follows him? Is that what matters to you?
You don't understand. He's changed so much since college. He's like a different person now.
So you wanted to get back with your ex-boyfriend now that he's become famous? Is that all it took?
You make it sound so shallow.
Because it is shallow. Fame and good looks, that's what made you throw away our marriage?
It's not that I stopped loving you. I still love you. You're kind and buy me everything I want. You're a wonderful husband.
A wonderful husband you cheated on? How does that work?
I know it sounds terrible.
But I wasn't enough to satisfy you, so you cheated with your ex? My love wasn't enough?
It's just that his looks, I mean, you're not ugly, but he's on a different level now.
At least you're being honest about your superficiality.
Oh, that came out wrong. I didn't mean to compare you like that.
So that's how it is. You like him for his looks. I'm just a wallet who buys you things. That's all I am to you.
I didn't say it like that. Please don't twist my words.
But that's basically what you mean. Sure, I can't compete with him looks-wise. He was popular even in college. I hear he's starting to appear on TV now, becoming quite the celebrity. Must be exciting dating someone famous.
You're making it sound worse than it is.
Am I? Then tell me how I should interpret it.
I made a mistake. I got caught up in the excitement.
The excitement of sneaking around behind my back?
Let's calm down. We can talk at the hospital, okay? Come see me and we can work this out.
I'm not going to the hospital. There's nothing left to discuss.
Please, we can fix this. 5 years of marriage can't end like this.
You should have thought about that before the affair.
Don't leave me alone. I need you.
Why don't you ask your ex to come? He seemed pretty concerned earlier.
He already left right after the evacuation.
Your knight in shining armor abandoned you? How shocking.
Well, with so many people around, he couldn't risk being exposed. It would cause a huge scandal. His agency would be furious.
Ah, yes, his precious image. More important than the woman he's been sleeping with.
His career is just starting to take off. He can't afford negative publicity.
Right, he's selling himself as this sincere character. An affair would tank his image. Must be nice having a public image to protect.
His agency has strict rules about dating, and a scandal with a married woman?
Would be career suicide. I get it. His reputation matters more than you.
You don't understand how the entertainment industry works.
Oh, I understand perfectly. Image is everything, and you're bad for his image.
You don't have to come to the hospital, but let's talk properly when I get home. I'll tell you everything honestly. We can work through this.
What else is there to talk about? I think I've seen enough.
We can go to counseling. Many couples survive affairs.
I'm not interested in being one of those couples.
Why didn't you come home last night? Where did you stay?
I told you I wouldn't. Why are you surprised?
You won't even worry about me when I'm hurt? After 5 years of marriage?
It couldn't have been that serious. You looked perfectly fine when you were evacuating. Healthy enough to embrace your boyfriend.
The doctor said I should rest. I'm still coughing from the smoke.
Funny how your cold miraculously improved when he came over.
I still wanted you to show some concern. I'm still your wife.
For now.
What does that mean?
I think you know exactly what it means. I think you should be more worried about your ex-boyfriend. He's the one with everything to lose.
What do you mean? What did you do?
I contacted your ex and told him I'm suing for compensation. His agency should be getting the paperwork soon.
No, you didn't.
Already done.
Wait, how did you even have his contact info? I thought you just went to the same college but never actually interacted.
I could find him through mutual friends. I asked around until I got his contact information. People were quite helpful when I explained why I needed it.
You told people? Who did you talk to?
Everyone who could help me reach him.
You didn't tell them about the affair when asking, right? Please tell me you kept it quiet.
I told them everything, every detail.
No, this can't be happening.
Actions have consequences, Maria.
Why would you do that? His career could be ruined.
It would be suspicious to suddenly ask for his contact info without a reason. I had to explain why. They were quite sympathetic.
You've ruined everything. Don't you know how hard he worked to build his career?
Should have thought about that before sleeping with a married woman.
A scandal would be really bad for his career. He's just starting to get popular.
Then he shouldn't have caused problems in the first place. He brought this on himself. It's karma. Actions have consequences.
I hope those people keep quiet. Maybe we can contain this.
Unlikely. I had to go through several people to get his contact info, so it's probably gonna leak somewhere. It's just a matter of time before the media finds out. Scandals sell well.
How could you do this? You're destroying his life.
You have no right to blame me. You're the one who cheated. You both made your choices.
But his career, everything he worked for.
Should have thought about that before the affair.
Yes, but...
And just so you know, I'm suing you for compensation too. Don't think being a housewife will get you off the hook. You'll have to pay for what you did.
How am I supposed to pay the compensation? I don't have any income.
That's your problem to figure out.
Why are you so angry over one affair? Didn't you love me? Can't you forgive me?
Because I loved you, the betrayal hurts even more. Sadness turns to hatred. Now all I feel for you is disgust. You've killed every good memory we had.
One mistake shouldn't erase 5 years of marriage.
It wasn't one mistake. It was 6 months of conscious choices.
I don't want a divorce. Please, we can work this out.
Why don't you marry your ex? You like his looks, right? He's a celebrity, so he must make good money. Isn't that what you want?
He would never choose me. He already has to work on recovering his image. A divorce and remarriage would only make it worse. His agency would drop him immediately.
So you're only staying because he won't have you? Nice to know where I stand.
That's not what I meant.
True, you're just a liability to him now.
This could destroy his future in the entertainment industry. Everything he's worked for will be gone. His fans will turn against him.
Funny how you're more worried about his career than our marriage. I agree. Sponsors will probably start terminating contracts one after another. He'll have to pay breach of contract penalties. He's gonna go through hell. All because he couldn't resist having an affair with a married woman.
Please stop this. You can sue me instead. Leave him out of it.
Too late for that. The wheels are already in motion.
I'm already in hell. How am I supposed to live on my own? I haven't worked in years. You know I left my job when we got married.
Not my problem anymore. Don't expect to maintain your current lifestyle. You'll have to get a part-time job and live modestly. No more expensive dresses or fancy restaurants.
How am I supposed to start over at my age? All of my experience is outdated.
Should have thought about job security before having an affair.
I can't even imagine how I'm going to survive. All my friends are housewives. They'll abandon me when they find out about this.
More consequences of your choices.
They'll all take your side. I'll lose everything.
The affair was fun, wasn't it? But fun things come with consequences. Good lesson learned. Maybe you'll think twice before cheating next time.
There won't be a next time. I've learned my lesson.
Too late for that now.
I wish I never had the affair. I was so stupid. I'm sorry. Can't we start over? Give me another chance.
You had thousands of chances every day for 6 months. You could have chosen differently.
People make mistakes. We can fix this.
Affairs are like playing with fire. They might be thrilling, but when they spread, they leave nothing but ashes. You'll have nothing left either. You burned everything we built together.
Please, I'll do anything.
Already sent the divorce papers to your hospital room. Sign them.
Tom, please.
Don't contact me again unless it's about the divorce. After that, I handed Maria divorce papers and kicked her out of the house. The lease was coming up for renewal, so I contacted the agency to terminate it. Since she couldn't afford rent on her own, Maria had no choice but to leave. I hear she started working part-time, but she's barely getting by. In her desperation, Maria did something unthinkable. She started exposing details of their affair period on social media, trying to gain followers and make money. Now her ex is planning to sue her for defamation. Their relationship has completely fallen apart. Watching their mutual destruction from the sidelines, I think about how foolish it all is. It's convenient that they're attacking each other and heading toward their own ruin. Since the divorce, I've been able to use my money freely, and my savings have increased. I used to find happiness in spending money on Maria, but watching my savings grow feels pretty good too. From now on, I'll save money for myself.
Hey there, Mom. Can I ask you about something? When we up to take my first drink. Would you like to explain that? How am I supposed to know? For all I know, your sense of smell is as defective as your sense of filial piety. I was shocked and appalled when you accused me of intentionally destroying your clothes, but now you're accusing me for attempted murder. How dare you? Your parents failed miserably of raising you. What I'm specifically accusing you of really depends on how much of what substance you put in my
to heal is to remove you from our lives. If you feel at all sorry for what you've done, you'll spend the rest of your life cursing yourself for being such a fool. Goodbye.
Okay, did you get all that? I'm gonna block your number now. This can't be. Why is this happening to me? You really need to know you're a bad person, a monster really, and an even worse mother. The only person who sees you as some saint-like maternity figure never heard from her again after that. We both blocked her number, but we also went out and got new phones just in case. It didn't take Rick long to forget all about his wicked mother. Now he spends as much time as he can on making me feel as loved as possible. I have to admit, cutting off contact with his own mother was a really big move, but the weight of the decision just goes to show the weight of his love for me, and for that, I'll forever be grateful. I want to spend the rest of my life repaying him for the love and kindness.
Mike, tomorrow you're going to take Faith out to play, right? You remember the promise, don't you? About how you'd be taking her to her favorite park for the day?
Huh? Of course I remember. You don't need to keep asking me. It's fine, really.
You say that, but you always forget, don't you? How many times have you canceled plans with Faith at the last minute before again?
I don't think it's been that many times. I'm sure I've kept most of the promises I made.
What are you talking about? You've actually kept fewer promises than you've broken. You're always saying that you'll take her out, but then something comes up and it falls through. I'm telling you, you really need to spend more time with Faith. She's always asking for you, and you hardly ever follow through. It's really sad how little attention she gets from you.
I do spend time with her. We go to the park together on my days off. I'm not ignoring her, you know. Jeez, can't you just let a man be for once instead of nagging them to death?
You just take her there and leave her to play by herself, though. That's not really spending time with her at all, actually. You just sit there and she has to entertain herself like always. That's not playing with her, Mike. You need to actually get involved. Faith often says she's upset because you don't play with her, and it breaks my heart to hear that. She's been waiting for you to play with her, and you just leave her alone. Don't you see that?
No, I really don't think that's what happens. I'm sure she has a good time, even when I'm not actively playing with her.
I heard from her that you just sit there looking at your phone while she plays alone. Honestly, I'm getting tired of hearing this. You probably don't even realize how much she needs you to engage with her. You're probably just playing your games again, right? That's why she's been feeling so neglected. Tomorrow, when she's looking forward to spending time with you, make sure to actually play with her this time, okay? You've got to stop letting her down.
I already play with her, I do, but Faith is always asking for more. I can't be at her beck and call all the time. She's the one who's being too demanding.
If you were really spending enough time with her, she wouldn't feel the way she does. She wouldn't be saying all that. She just wants to be with you, to feel like you're really there with her. She's not being selfish, she's just asking for your attention. It's not a lot to ask, is it? You really need to stop blaming her and start looking at yourself. I don't think you realize how much she craves your affection. She needs her father, Mike, not just someone who's physically present, but not really there emotionally.
Oh, please, I'm not the one who's at fault here. You're just spoiling her too much, that's all. You're the one who always gives in to whatever she wants, and now she's just acting out because of it. I don't think I'm the one who's really making her this way.
Oh, come on. You're the one who's spoiled, not Faith. You were the youngest son in your family, always pampered and treated like the special one, so I'm not surprised that you're so selfish. You think everything revolves around you and you never want to admit that you have any flaws. Maybe you should take a good look at yourself before blaming anyone else.
You've got to be kidding me! You're always so critical, always pointing out my flaws. It's getting really old, you know. You always have something to complain about, but you don't see your own issues. It's like you don't even care about how much you nag. It's exhausting.
Faith is an only child, Mike. She doesn't have anyone else to play with on her own. Her parents should be the ones to spend time with her, especially on her days off. She's been waiting for tomorrow, all excited about you taking her out, and you can't just cancel on her like you usually do. Do you understand how disappointed she'll be? She's looking forward to it so much. You need to follow through for her sake. Don't break her heart again.
I said I get it. Can you stop nagging now? I understand, okay? I'll make sure to spend time with her, but you don't have to keep repeating yourself over and over.
If you were a good father to begin with, I wouldn't have to say anything at all. But you're always all talk, making promises and never keeping them. You act like you're this great dad, but you never actually do anything. I'm not asking for perfection, but I do expect you to be involved, to take some responsibility, and I'm not seeing that from you, Mike. You just sit there criticizing me, but when it comes to doing something yourself, you're never there.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that you talk a big game about being a father, but you don't back it up with actions. You always have something to say about my parenting, but you don't even help. You don't play with the kids. You don't take responsibility for anything. It's like you think being a dad means just being there sometimes, but you have to actually do things too. You're neglecting your role and it's affecting Faith. She's craving your attention, but you're too busy doing other things.
I can play with her, I'm telling you. It's just that you're always on my case and I can't take it anymore. I'm doing my best here and it's frustrating to hear you criticize me all the time. If I try to do anything, you say it's not good enough. It's always something with you.
You say that, but I don't see any real effort from you. It's just words, Mike. You've been neglecting Faith and you can't even see it. Maybe it's time for you to stop making excuses and start acting like the father you're supposed to be. Mike, what are you doing? Answer the phone. I've been calling you non-stop since earlier.
Huh? What is this number of missed calls? What's with all these missed calls? I'm in the middle of playing with Faith and it's really bothering me. You told me to take her out, so don't interrupt us.
Don't mess around. The one you're playing with isn't even our daughter.
What?
Get out of the hotel. I know everything.
Hotel? What are you talking about?
You're there, aren't you?
Are you sleep talking or something? There's no way I'm at a hotel. Faith is with me too.
What are you saying? Don't try to make me laugh, you liar.
What's with all the nonsense you've been saying? The hotel? I don't understand what you're talking about at all.
The one who doesn't understand is you. I heard about it from Faith and I was horrified.
Huh? What do you mean you heard it from Faith? Faith is here with me. She's been with me the whole time today, playing together.
That's impossible. Faith is with me right now, at the hospital.
The hospital?
Faith was taken by ambulance and I got the call. Of course you didn't notice anything was wrong with our daughter, did you? You were at the hotel the whole time, right?
Wait a minute, why is Faith at the hospital?
She was found collapsed in the street. It was heat stroke, apparently.
Heat stroke?
You left Faith in the car, didn't you? In this sweltering heat? What were you thinking, leaving her like that?
I made sure to leave the windows open.
Are you stupid? Opening the windows doesn't make any significant difference in the car's internal temperature. Faith couldn't stand it and tried to escape from the window on her own. It's a good thing she's a smart kid.
She managed to get out through that gap?
She's thin, so she got out okay, but if she hadn't been able to get out? Someone passing by called an ambulance and she was rushed to the nearest hospital for treatment.
So she's okay?
By the time I got to the hospital, she had regained consciousness. She's able to talk now.
I see. That's a relief, but still, how did they contact you?
Faith has all kinds of allergies from birth, right? Whenever we go out, I make sure to give her a contact book.
A contact book from her kindergarten?
Not the kindergarten one, I made a separate one. I guess you never noticed it all this time.
I didn't know anything about that.
I've talked about it several times before, though. You just weren't paying attention. It contains a list of things she's allergic to and emergency contacts. It's for when something happens so she can get the right treatment immediately.
You're really thorough. You're kind of overly nervous, though.
But thanks to that, I was contacted. That cautiousness paid off.
Anyway, Faith is fine, right?
She's fine, but she's been saying something weird.
Something weird?
She pointed out the window and said, Daddy went into that castle over there. You understand, right? There's a big hotel shaped like a castle on the outskirts of town. And of course, it's not a normal hotel, is it? I can even see it from her hospital room. That's how I knew you were at that hotel. There's only one reason someone would go there, right? You're with some woman now, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. But even so, you don't have the right to yell at me about it.
You have some nerve acting all big and tough when you're the one who cheated. I haven't even heard an apology from you yet.
The reason I cheated was because there were issues at home. My wife lost her charm, and Faith is spoiled and selfish. Of course I ended up looking elsewhere.
What is that? Are you blaming us now? Are you saying that your cheating is our fault?
When a husband cheats, it's usually because the wife doesn't do enough to keep him at home. If you don't put in any effort to keep your husband happy, this is what happens.
I'm angry about the affair, but more than that, I am furious about what you did to Faith. Do you realize that Faith could have lost her life because of you? Do you understand that? You are an awful father.
In the end, she's okay, isn't she? So what's the big deal?
That doesn't mean you get a free pass. Did you think buying a bunch of snacks for Faith would make up for it?
Faith agreed to stay in the car. It's not like I forced her.
Faith told me she was scared of you and couldn't say no. She said you told her to stay in the car and threatened her not to tell me.
I didn't threaten her. Again, Faith is lying. She's just like you, a troublesome woman.
To blame Faith after you made her suffer? What kind of person are you?
She's recovered, so just go home quickly. It's a waste of money for her to stay in the hospital.
You're not going to visit the hospital?
What's the point? I'm not going to pick her up. You two can go home by yourselves.
I'm so glad it's a holiday today. It was a last-minute call, but everyone's going to come over. Are you planning to just ignore the messages? Well, whatever. The sisters are heading to the hospital where you are now, so... All right, see you soon.
What? My sisters are coming here?
Oh, you replied pretty quickly. Looks like my plan worked perfectly, huh?
Are you seriously telling me my sisters are coming here?
Yep, that's right. All 4 of your sisters are on their way. It's been a while since you've seen them, hasn't it? You usually avoid meeting up with them, don't you? Are you that uncomfortable around them?
Did you contact my sisters to tell them to come?
Who else would I contact? I've made sure to tell them all about what happened today.
What the hell are you doing, airing our family's delicate issues to the outside world? You never even contact them, so why today of all days?
Huh? What do you expect me to do? You're hopeless and useless, and all you ever do is get defensive and refuse to take any responsibility. So I decided to let your sisters handle this.
You've got to be kidding me.
Your sisters are all furious with you. And can you blame them? You cheated, put our daughter's life in danger, and then tried to make it our fault. Your sisters are not going to let you get away with this.
Why, of all people, did you contact my sisters?
I figured your parents would be too weak for this. You're the youngest of 5 siblings, and you've never won a fight with your sisters, have you? You were always pampered by your parents because you're the youngest son, but your sisters? They're terrifying.
Those sisters of mine are monsters! You have no idea how scary they are!
Well, those scary sisters of yours are actually coming together to handle this for you. This is really helping me out. The one who lives closest to you is probably already on her way here. Can't wait to see what happens.
Already? This is seriously bad!
You should have just come to the hospital already. It's your own fault for digging yourself into this hole.
Call my sisters and tell them to go back right now.
It's too late for that. They're already on their way. If you had any time to complain, you should have run away by now. You might even get caught with your little affair partner too, you know? good job today. I was able to watch the entire scene when you got scolded by your sisters during the video call. The woman you were having an affair with was crying uncontrollably. Honestly, it was hard to even watch because it was so intense.
I'm so sorry for what I did. I truly regret it.
Looks like your sisters really made you apologize. It's good to see you finally admit what you did. It's about time you said something. I had almost given up on hearing an apology from you.
I know I'm a terrible father. I don't deserve any sympathy. Please, I'm truly sorry for everything that's happened.
It was actually kind of funny watching you kneel outside the hotel, doing that whole act of submission. It looked so pitiful. On top of all that, Faith is going to be admitted to the hospital today, so I might go over there to check on her. I don't want to just leave everything to your sisters, as much as I trust them to handle things.
Enough already! I don't want to deal with this anymore. I just want to go home. Can we please just end it? You've made your point, haven't you?
It seems like you've really given up now. Just a little while ago, you were acting so proud and strong, like nothing could faze you. Now look at you. It's almost pathetic how quickly you've broken down.
You don't understand anything, do you? It's easy for you to sit there and talk like that. You have no idea what kind of pressure I'm under right now. You don't know the half of it.
Well, that's because you really don't know how bad your situation is. Your sisters didn't just scold you, you know. They made sure to interrogate your mistress as well. I have to say, they did a thorough job, and now I know all of her personal details. Her name, address, phone number, even where she works. I know it all now.
Oh, really? So what else did you find out about her?
She works at the same company as you, believe it or not.
Wait, really? She works at the same place?
Yes, and guess what else? She's married too.
What? She's married?
Yeah, apparently you two were planning to leave your spouses and be together.
No, that's not how it was. She wasn't gonna leave her husband for me. This was just a fling, a momentary lapse in judgment. It wasn't meant to be anything serious, I swear.
Come on, you're kidding yourself. This wasn't just a casual fling. If it had been, you wouldn't have been sneaking around like this. And now you're trying to cover it up by lying again. Well, your mistress's husband wasn't so naive.
Wait, what? You talked to him?
Yeah, I called him. I got his number from your mistress.
Why would you call her husband? Are you trying to make things worse?
Well, I had to explain the situation, didn't I? I told him everything. Of course, he was furious. He's planning on suing you for alimony.
What? Alimony? No, that can't be right. I don't have money for something like that. You can't be serious.
Alimony isn't something to joke about, you know. You're going to be hit with a massive financial burden. And considering how you just bought that car, I'm guessing you're not exactly rolling in cash right now.
I'm telling you, I don't have the money. I just made a big purchase. You don't understand how tough things are right now.
Well, I'm not going to be the one who has to pay it. That's not my problem. Plus, I'm divorcing you, so I'll be in the clear. But I'm still going to sue you and your mistress for alimony. You'll be paying for this one way or another.
Wait, double alimony? Seriously? That's gonna ruin me!
Well, maybe you and your mistress should figure out how to split the bill together. After all, you're both responsible for this mess.
I told you she's not gonna marry me! She's not serious about anything!
Well, you're on your own then. Just don't come crying to me for help. By the way, don't even think about asking your family for assistance. Your sisters have already told your parents not to get involved and to let you handle this yourself.
You've gotta be kidding me! Are your sisters hoping I'll go bankrupt?
They said they want you to learn your lesson the hard way. They're not going to let you get away with this without facing real consequences. I have to say I respect them for not giving you any breaks, even though you're family.
They really are ruthless, aren't they?
Your sisters aren't about to coddle you. They want to make sure you never make the same mistake again. They don't care if it's going to hurt you. They're determined to make you suffer for what you've done.
Okay, I'll pay the alimony. Just please don't make this worse than it already is. Especially if this gets out to my workplace. I can't afford for that to happen.
You are really worried about your job image, huh? Well, I can understand that. If your affair gets out, you'll be in for some serious trouble. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
I've worked so hard to maintain a professional reputation at work. My bosses like the image I've built for myself. If this scandal gets out, I won't be able to show my face at work again. My career will be over.
Your reputation? You think you can hide behind that? It's all a joke. You're just fooling yourself. You should see how you really act when no one's watching.
I'm not fooling myself. Everyone at work has to put on a good front. It's just how things are in the professional world. If this gets exposed, I won't be able to go back to my office. I'll be completely humiliated.
Well, I guess you'll just have to live with that humiliation. You'll have to deal with the shame and guilt every day. That's what you get for making such foolish decisions.
I should have just taken Faith to the park today. Why couldn't I just have been patient? Why couldn't I have made better choices?
Just now, Faith asked me, "Is Daddy a prince?" She thought you were some kind of hero. I couldn't help but laugh.
A prince? Me? How in the world?
She must have thought that because you were going into that hotel. She asked if you were off to save a princess. Isn't it hilarious? A guy who gets beaten up by a woman in front of a hotel can hardly be called a prince, right? After everything that had transpired, Mike ultimately found himself in a situation where there was no escape. The ramifications of his infidelity were far-reaching, and despite his initial hopes that things could simply be smoothed over, it became increasingly evident that such wishes were nothing more than a fantasy. The damage had already been done, and the consequences were unavoidable. He was forced to pay a substantial sum in alimony, a financial burden that would haunt him for years to come. It was the least of what he could do, considering the betrayal he had inflicted on both me and our daughter. At first, Mike had thought he could avoid the full impact of his actions, but reality hit him hard when he was faced with the legal and emotional consequences of his affair. Although the woman with whom Mike had been involved didn't immediately end her marriage, the consequences for her were just as severe. While she had managed to keep the facade of a happy marriage intact for a time, it became apparent that the affair couldn't stay hidden forever. Despite her husband's apparent willingness to stay, it seemed that she couldn't escape the ripple effects of her betrayal. The affair had left scars that were impossible to cover up, and eventually, those wounds began to bleed into every aspect of her life. Not only had she destroyed the trust in her marriage, but she also had to contend with the fallout of her actions at work. She chose to quit her job, leaving behind her career, possibly in an attempt to avoid the judgment and the consequences of the affair becoming public knowledge. Word had gotten out about her involvement with Mike, and it didn't take long for whispers to start circulating. Gossip spread like wildfire through the office, and her position there became untenable. She may have thought she could carry on with business as usual, but once the affair became public knowledge, it was impossible to ignore. She resigned under the pressure of the situation, likely hoping to escape the scrutiny that was building around her. The gossip in the workplace spread far and wide, and it did not take long for everyone to know what had been going on. It was as if the entire office was talking about her and the affair, discussing the affair in hushed tones, and wondering how she could have let things get so out of hand. The whispers weren't just about her actions, they also included details about her personal life and her relationship with Mike. The affair had become the subject of office gossip, and it was impossible for her to return to work as if nothing had happened. Her reputation at the company had been tarnished, and there was no way to repair the damage that had been done. She probably wished she could go back in time and undo everything, but the truth had already been exposed, and there was no going back. As for Mike, while he stayed at his job, it wasn't without difficulty. He was forced to endure a level of discomfort that he hadn't expected. Despite his best efforts to act as if everything was fine, it was clear to everyone around him that the affair had affected him deeply. The gossip and judgment from his colleagues were inescapable, and he soon realized that the facade he had tried to build had crumbled. He wasn't able to carry on as if nothing had happened. The judgment from others was something he couldn't ignore, no matter how much he tried. He found it difficult to focus on his work, constantly preoccupied with the rumors and whispers that followed him wherever he went. It wasn't just an issue of office gossip. It was the overwhelming sense that everyone knew what he had done. His colleagues, who had once respected him, now looked at him with a mixture of disappointment and judgment. Despite the strain of being in that environment, Mike chose to stay at his job. Perhaps he thought it would be easier to simply ride out the storm, to wait for the scandal to blow over. But as time passed, it became clear that nothing would ever be the same again. The affair had shattered not only our marriage, but also his sense of self. His image at work had been forever tainted by the betrayal. He couldn't escape the fact that he had hurt me, his family, and others who had trusted him. The guilt and shame of his actions weighed heavily on him, and it was becoming more and more difficult for him to function normally. Every day felt like a struggle, as he had to face the consequences of his decisions. The man he had once been, confident and respected, was now a shadow of his former self, constantly living under the cloud of his past mistakes. Meanwhile, my life had taken a different turn. While the pain and heartbreak of Mike's betrayal had initially overwhelmed me, I had slowly begun to rebuild my life. My daughter and I were learning to live without him. It was difficult at first. The emotional toll had been immense, and there were times when I wasn't sure how I would cope. But over time, I found the strength I needed to keep moving forward. I had to, for my daughter's sake and for my own. The world didn't stop just because of Mike's mistakes, and I had to find a way to navigate through the mess he had left behind. I couldn't afford to wallow in self-pity. I had to stay strong for her. With Mike's financial contributions, alimony, and child support, I was able to support my daughter. It wasn't an ideal situation, but it was enough to get us by. But what mattered more than the money was the realization that I didn't need Mike. I could take care of myself and my daughter without his help. It was a hard lesson to learn, but it was empowering. I wasn't dependent on him anymore, and I was no longer beholden to his whims. I had my own life to lead, and I wasn't going to let him continue to control it. His actions had forced me to stand up for myself, and that was something I would never regret. It wasn't just Mike who paid for his mistakes. Thanks to my sisters-in-law, who had been incredibly supportive throughout this whole ordeal, I was able to receive the alimony and child support I was owed. They had worked behind the scenes, taking action when I felt like I couldn't do anything. They fought for me when I was too emotionally drained to fight for myself. Their support made all the difference. Without them, I don't know how I would have made it through. They were the ones who made sure Mike followed through on his responsibilities, and they were the ones who helped me navigate the complicated legal process. I could never thank them enough for everything they did for me. The money I received wasn't something I planned to spend frivolously. I didn't want to live from paycheck to paycheck. Instead, I decided to save it for my daughter's future. I wanted to make sure she had the best possible opportunities when she got older, and I knew that education would play a huge role in that. The money Mike and I had once shared, the money he had stolen from our family's trust, would now be used to build a future for her. This money wasn't about getting back at him. It wasn't about revenge. It was about securing her future. My daughter deserved every opportunity I could provide her, and I wasn't going to let Mike's mistakes dictate the course of her life. My daughter, for her part, didn't fully understand what had happened. She was still so young, and the complexity of adult relationships was lost on her. She didn't yet comprehend why her father wasn't around, and she didn't understand the significance of the hotel where Mike had betrayed me. She was still innocent, and I wanted to protect that innocence for as long as I could. She was too young to know the depth of the betrayal that had occurred, but I knew that one day she would have questions. One day she would want to know why things were different, why her father wasn't a part of her life. And when that day came, I would have to tell her the truth. I would have to explain to her why Mike wasn't around, why he wasn't a part of our family anymore. And when she learned the truth, when she understood what he had done, she would know exactly who he was. She would join the many other women who had learned to despise him for his actions. Mike, for all his apologies, would never escape the consequences of his affair. He could say he was sorry 1,000 times, but it wouldn't change anything. The damage was done, and there was no going back. He had lost the trust of everyone who had once believed in him, and he had lost the respect of his daughter, too. No amount of money or apologies could fix what he had broken, and I, for my part, was finally learning to live without him. I had found my strength, and I wasn't going to let his mistakes define me. I was building a future for my daughter, one that didn't depend on Mike or his lies.
Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. I forgot to mention it, but I'm going out with friends for dinner tonight. I'm not sure how late things are going to be for us, but don't expect me to be home before you go to bed.
Huh? Really? I was actually making dinner at home.
sorry, all right? Just save it for me and I'll eat it tomorrow morning. Or better yet, you can just have seconds if you'd really like to tonight.
Fine, I understand, but don't you think you've been going out at night a bit too often recently? Even on weekends, you're out quite a bit. I was kind of hoping we could relax together and have some time, just the two of us.
I feel like we're already spending enough time together, though. If anything, we should have a bit more personal time, if you know what I mean.
Then, how about this? How about we plan a little getaway for the upcoming holiday? Maybe a ski resort trip?
Sorry, but I already have plans for the holiday. I appreciate the invite, but it's just not going to work.
Plans? What kind of plans?
Do you really have to dig that deeply? It's just a casual thing with friends. Now that Hannah's in college and living on her own, I feel like I finally have a break from all the child-rearing responsibilities. I want to go out and enjoy myself.
Look, I get it, I really do. It's just, couldn't you make some time for me too? It doesn't have to be a lot. I just thought it might be nice. It would be fun to just sit back and watch a movie or something.
Hey, women have their own things to enjoy, right? Lots of my friends are at the same stage now. Our kids are grown up, so we're all finding time to enjoy ourselves. I feel like I've done my part, and I'm ready to enjoy life a bit. Don't you think I've earned that?
Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going out, but lately it kind of feels like you've been neglecting things at home.
Oh, please, you're perfectly capable of handling house chores yourself, aren't you?
Yes, I am. That's why I've been trying to do more around here. I cook, I clean, I've been keeping things in order.
Then there's no problem, is there? If you're handling it yourself, why do you have to bring it up with me? I've been the one doing all the housework for years. I think I deserve some time to enjoy myself now.
All right, I understand. But even so, I'd like for us to have dinner together every now and then, or maybe go out and enjoy a quiet outing. We used to go on drives together. Why can't we do something like that again?
Oh, please, hearing that from you now that you're getting older?
Hey, we're the same age, you know.
Oh, but I take care of my appearance and focus on beauty routines, so don't go lumping me in with just any old man, all right?
Okay, you have a point, but still.
It just makes me a little uneasy when you talk like this.
Uneasy? How?
Well, I mean, it makes me wonder how things will be in the future. Once you're retired, for example. I feel like you're going to start suggesting little outings, and then there'll be times when you'll want to follow me around all the time, like a little goldfish that can't be left alone. Just thinking about it is a bit unsettling.
Hey, I'm not suggesting we spend every second together. I just think it would be nice to slow down sometimes, enjoy some quiet moments together, that's all.
Yes, I get it. But I still hope you can find a way to live without depending on me so much. Maybe you could even pick a new hobby or something. That way you'd have your own interests and you wouldn't be so focused on what I'm doing all the time.
But if I'm not focused on you, wouldn't that mean we're just growing apart?
Marriage is like that sometimes, Look, let's just end this conversation here. I'm out right now trying to enjoy myself. So please, don't text or call me for the rest of the evening. I'll catch the last train home, so just...
Yeah, I'm just about to head out to the supermarket to pick up some groceries.
Sorry to ask, but could you swing by the dry cleaners and pick up my shirt? I want to wear it for the trip tomorrow.
Sure, no problem. Do you have the ticket for it?
It should be in the pocket of one of my recent jackets, I think.
That's a little vague.
It's in one of the jackets at the front of the closet, so you'll find it easily.
All right, I'll look for it. So what time will you be back tonight?
Probably around 8 p.m. I want to get a good night's sleep since we'll be leaving for the trip tomorrow.
Got it. In that case, I'll make dinner for both of us.
Oh, actually, don't worry about dinner for me. After my shift, I'm meeting a friend for a meal.
I was hoping we could eat together since it's one of your days off.
Can't be helped, can it? And don't act so pouty like an old man. It's kind of creepy.
It's just that you'll be away on the trip tomorrow, and we haven't had dinner together for a week now.
Once I'm back, I'll be home for a while, so we'll have more time then.
All right, if that's the case. Oh, speaking of which, Hannah said she won't be coming home during her summer break. I was hoping we could do something as a family, but I guess that's not happening.
She's a college student now. Spending time with friends is probably more fun for her than hanging out with family.
Maybe so, but I feel like she should at least come home once in a while. She did say she'll be around on the 4th of July, though.
Isn't it a good thing that she's becoming independent? She's a responsible kid. You don't have to worry about her getting into trouble.
Hannah might be responsible, but who knows about the people around her? When she's home next, I should ask her about how things are going.
If you start grilling her with questions, she's just going to think you're annoying, you know. With girls, it's better to maintain a bit of distance. If she ever needs help, she'll come to us on her own.
You think so?
I know so. I went through the same thing. Kids around her age appreciate being left to their own lives. It's good for them.
All right, I'll hold back and won't be too pushy.
That's for the best. So anyway, can you handle the dry cleaning for me?
From the hospital? I'm not sure if you're able to check your phone right now, but I'm on my way there in a taxi.
Dad, you don't need to rush. I'm really sorry for worrying you. I just felt a bit lightheaded, so it's not a big deal.
It's serious enough that they admitted you to the hospital, and you collapsed at your part-time job, right? They said it was due to overwork. Have things been that busy for you?
Maybe it's because I'm juggling 3 part-time jobs. Since it's summer break, I probably took on too many shifts. But it's the best time to make money, so I thought I'd push myself.
3 jobs? Why do you need so much money? I've been sending you $1,500 every month, haven't I?
Huh? I haven't gotten anything like that.
What? Ever since you started college, I've been sending it every month. Your mother told me she was making the transfers, too. She'd been updating me about it regularly.
Well, I haven't received any of that money. Mom told me I had to earn my own living expenses and tuition.
What?
It's true. That's why I've been working so many part-time jobs. I've been saving up, especially since I need to pay for next semester's tuition.
I was planning to cover the tuition for the 2nd semester myself.
I didn't know that. Mom told me I should be grateful she even paid for the 1st semester's tuition and entrance fees. That's all she said she would do.
This can't be happening.
It's not a lie. If I'd been getting any of that money, I wouldn't have needed to work like this.
I believe you. I don't think you're lying.
But if that's true, then does that mean Mom was lying to you?
It seems that way. I can't believe she'd do something like this.
You should believe it. Mom has no problem lying like that.
Hey, don't talk about her that way.
But I've seen her with my own eyes. I once spotted her while I was on my way home from a shift.
What do you mean?
She was walking with a younger man.
Maybe it was just someone from her part-time job?
It didn't feel that way, and it was almost the last train of the night. I thought about asking her about it, but I got scared. I even thought about talking to you, Dad, but I couldn't bring myself to. I didn't have the time or mental space to think about it. My mind was completely focused on making and saving money every day.
Hannah, I'm so sorry. I should have noticed what was going on.
It's all right. I couldn't bring myself to tell you anyway. You kept reaching out to me, but all I could give you were curt replies. I kept telling myself that I shouldn't rely on you. Looking back, it feels foolish now. I could only think about myself back then.
Hannah, stop working those jobs. I'll cover your tuition and living expenses from now on. Just focus on resting for now. It's your summer break, and I'm sure you have a lot of things you'd like to do.
Are you sure?
Of course! I was already sending you money from the beginning. It's your mom who complicated things.
But what about Mom? What'll you do?
I'll figure that out. To be honest, I'm in a bit of a panic myself right now.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything like that.
You didn't do anything wrong. Actually, I've felt something was off with your mother's behavior lately, too.
Really?
Yes, and right now your mother's out of town on a trip. This might be the right time for me to really think things over.
Did you tell Mom that I collapsed?
I left her a voicemail since the call went to her answering machine. She hasn't read the message yet, though.
I see. All right, please be careful on your way here. I'm in room 515 on the 5th floor. Camden, I'm sorry, but could you handle dinner again tonight? They asked me to stay overtime at work, and I don't think I'll make it back in time to cook.
You promised you'd be back early tonight, though, didn't you?
It's work, Camden. There's nothing I can do about it. Oh, why not ask Hannah? Isn't she just lying around at home anyway?
Hannah isn't lying around. She collapsed from exhaustion, remember? She's recuperating.
It's been 2 weeks since she collapsed. Making dinner isn't that big of a deal at this point.
Are you really not concerned about your own daughter collapsing?
Of course I was worried, but it's not like it's life-threatening, is it? Besides, if she fainted from exhaustion, she probably wasn't managing her health very well. It's her own responsibility.
Unbelievable. You didn't even come back from your trip when you found out she collapsed. Now she's finally starting to feel better and you still don't seem to care.
Why are you making such a big deal out of this? It's not like I don't care, Camden. And anyway, when I got back from my trip, you were too busy to really spend time with her yourself. Don't act like you're the only one who cares.
Forget it. You know what? Just don't even come home tonight.
What? What's with the attitude? You're getting this upset just because I have to work late?
Don't pretend it's work. I already know the truth. I know you've been taking the money I've been sending to Hannah and using it to have fun with some other man.
What? Camden, that's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
You thought you could get away with it forever? You took the money I sent for our daughter, lied to me every month that you were transferring it to her, and then told Hannah to fend for herself and earn her own way? Do you have any idea how low that is?
No, you don't understand. I wanted Hannah to gain some life experience. I was planning to give her the money later, all at once.
Then go ahead and transfer it all to her in full by tomorrow. Hannah quit her jobs already.
I can't. I don't have it right now.
Of course you don't. You've spent it all. While you were off traveling, I looked into our finances. Your paycheck never made it to our savings account. You've been draining our savings too, haven't you? Pulling money out month after month.
I'm sorry.
So you finally admit it?
But I wasn't cheating. I swear that part's not true.
Do you want to know why I didn't confront you about the missing money right away? I wanted time to look into your infidelity. I've gathered the evidence. I've seen what you're doing. So are you still gonna claim it didn't happen?
It's not what you think. It's not infidelity if there's money involved. It was just a fling. Nothing serious.
Call it whatever you want, but you betrayed me. And what's worse, you betrayed Hannah. The fact that you went behind your own daughter's back and used her money knowing she was overworking herself is disgusting.
When it started, I swear I didn't plan for it to get this far. I was going to stop, but I just couldn't let it go.
Your selfishness put our daughter in the hospital.
I know that now.
No, you really don't. Since Hannah has been home recuperating, you've been acting more on edge. I bet you were terrified I'd find out about the money and about him, weren't you? Even now, all you're thinking about is yourself.
I'm sorry, Camden. I'll return all the money I used. I'll cut ties with him. I swear I'll change.
Don't bother. You won't have to change for me. I'm done with you.
What? Camden?
The reason I wanted you to come home tonight was so I could tell you this. I'm leaving you. I've said what I needed to say. You're free to live however you want from now on.
Please, Camden, I'm coming home right now. I'll explain everything.
Really? What happened to that overtime you just mentioned?
This isn't the time for work. I can't think about that right now.
So you're lying again. I already know you're with him. The private investigator's been keeping me updated.
I'm sorry. I won't lie anymore. Just please listen to me one last time.
All these years, I've tried to fix things between us. I've tried to keep this family together, to make time for you, but you're the one who shut me out.
I know, I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Camden. I'll apologize to Hannah, too. I know I've hurt her the most.
She doesn't want to see you. She said so herself, but this should be convenient for you, shouldn't it? Now you don't have to worry about seeing my face after I retire. Isn't that what you wanted?
No, that's not what I want. Camden, please, forget what I said before. I don't know what I was thinking. I want to live with you. I want our family together. I'm so sorry. Just please, don't leave me.
No, I won't forget. Ever. You're the one who told me not to rely on you and to live my life without you, remember? So I'll do just that. You don't have to worry about me anymore because I'm done worrying about you. My wife and daughter, who had hurriedly returned home, and I sat down to discuss the divorce together. It was a moment none of us had anticipated, and yet, in some ways, we had all known it was coming. The tension in the room was unbearable, and it felt like the air was thick with the weight of the situation. Sitting there with my daughter and my wife, both of whom were looking at me with a mix of anxiety and anticipation, I didn't know how to begin. It was one of those moments where you could feel your whole life shifting beneath you. My wife, having clearly been crying and emotionally drained, seemed to hold on to some small shred of hope. I could see it in her eyes. She still wanted to fix things, to believe that we could rebuild our relationship and move forward. She kept suggesting that we could try therapy, that we could try to work through it all. But the more she spoke, the heavier the weight on my heart became. I wasn't sure if it was out of anger, disappointment, or just sheer exhaustion, but I couldn't bring myself to entertain the idea of reconciliation. The trust had been shattered in ways that couldn't be fixed with words or promises. She continued to speak, suggesting different ways we could rebuild our marriage, offering ideas for counseling, and even talking about how we could go on a vacation to clear our heads. But each word felt like a dagger. It was like she was trying to force the situation into a mold that no longer fit. I had already come to terms with what had happened. I had spent weeks trying to understand, trying to come to grips with her betrayal. And no matter how many times she suggested we fix things, the damage felt irreversible. My heart was already heavy with the realization that this marriage was over, and no matter how much she wanted to cling to the hope of reconciliation, I couldn't follow her into that denial. She hadn't just made one mistake. It wasn't something that could be blamed on a single error in judgment. It was the culmination of months, maybe even years of lies, deceit, and betrayal. She had destroyed the trust that was at the core of our relationship. There was no going back from that. The conversation went in circles. Every time I tried to explain how deep the hurt ran, my wife would respond with more excuses, more apologies, and more ideas for how we could fix things. But it all sounded hollow to me. Her words were no longer meaningful because they didn't match the actions that had led us to this point. I couldn't hear her promises anymore. They felt like empty words that held no weight. As the minutes stretched into what felt like hours, my daughter, who had been sitting quietly, clearly growing more and more frustrated with each passing moment, finally spoke up. Her voice, though small, rang with the authority of someone who had had enough. "This is pointless," she said, her tone trembling with emotion. "Mom, you need to leave. This is disgusting. Get out!" Her words were sharp and decisive, and as she stood up, her actions followed. She grabbed a few things, throwing them at her mother, and it was clear that she had reached her breaking point. The tension in the room broke, and for a brief moment, there was silence. My wife, shocked by my daughter's outburst, stood frozen for a moment. I could see the hurt in her eyes, but I also saw a realization dawning on her face. She had never imagined that it would come to this, that her daughter would be the one to call for the end. But the truth was, this wasn't just my fight. This was my daughter's life, too. She had been affected by the choices my wife had made, and it was clear that she was no longer willing to pretend that everything was okay. I couldn't blame her for that. In fact, I was proud of her for standing up for what she knew was right. There was no more pretending, no more trying to salvage something that was already beyond saving. My wife, after a long pause, packed her things and left. She didn't say much, but the quiet resignation in her movements spoke volumes. She walked out the door, and with that, it felt like a chapter of our lives had finally closed. My daughter, standing beside me, looked at me with a mixture of anger and relief. She didn't want to see her mother leave, but at the same time, she knew it was for the best. It was the first step toward healing, even though we both knew the road ahead would be long. The next day, my wife returned with her parents in tow. They came to apologize, to beg for forgiveness, and to try to make things right. But honestly, it was too little too late. I couldn't bring myself to listen to her apologies anymore. Her words no longer held any weight, and neither did her parents' pleading. The damage had been done, and no amount of apologizing was going to change that. I had made up my mind, and my daughter and I were going to move on with our lives, no matter how hard it was. Over the next month, there were several more attempts to talk things through. My wife called repeatedly, asking if we could talk, if we could somehow find a way to fix things. She wanted us to go to counseling, to sit down with a professional and work through our issues. But as each day passed, I felt more and more sure that this was not something that could be fixed. She had already made her choices, and those choices had led us here. I didn't want to keep going in circles, reliving the same painful moments over and over again. Finally, after weeks of emotional turmoil, we reached a point where we both knew the inevitable was coming. My wife reluctantly agreed to sign the divorce papers. There were tears, but they felt more like a release than anything else. It was over. The papers were signed, and we both agreed that it was time to move on. My daughter, who had been silently watching everything unfold, was granted full custody of me. My wife would continue to live at her parents' house, and that was that. The relief was immediate, but it was also bittersweet. I had hoped for so long that we could somehow make things work. But deep down, I knew that this was the only option left. There was no other way. The lies, the deceit, the broken trust. They were too much for any relationship to survive. It wasn't just that we had drifted apart, it was that the foundation of our marriage had been destroyed beyond repair. And that was a truth I had to face no matter how hard it was. In the weeks that followed, I learned more about what had really been happening. My wife had been involved with a younger man, someone she had met through a dating app. She had been secretly seeing him for months, and what's worse, she had been financially supporting him. I couldn't believe it. The betrayal stung in a way I couldn't put into words. She had been lying to me, keeping secrets, and now I knew that all of it had been for someone else. My anger flared when I learned about the extent of it. The thought of her choosing someone else over our family was more painful than I could have ever imagined. Her parents, despite everything, continued to try to support her. They came to visit, offering their help, trying to make her feel like there was a way out of the mess she had made. But for me, it was too late for that. I couldn't bring myself to care anymore. My focus was on my daughter, on trying to rebuild our lives together. My daughter had already been through so much, and I wasn't going to let her go through any more. She was my priority now. We moved forward, one day at a time, trying to adjust to our new reality. My daughter decided to move back in with me, even though she'd been living on her own for a while. The thought of leaving me alone in the house was something she couldn't bear. "I'm more worried about you than about me," she said. Her concern for me after everything she had already been through was overwhelming. I didn't want to burden her, but in that moment I realized just how much she had grown. She had always been a thoughtful, compassionate person, and now, more than ever, I understood how lucky I was to have her in my life. Having her back home was a relief. The house didn't feel so empty anymore. It wasn't just the physical presence that mattered. It was the emotional support we were giving each other. We were both healing, though the scars would remain for a long time. But I knew that with my daughter by my side, we would get through this. We would rebuild, and we would find happiness again. I vowed to myself that I would never let my daughter suffer because of my mistakes. I would protect her, support her, and love her no matter what. She had already been through so much, and I wasn't about to let her down again. I had learned the hard way that life is unpredictable and you can't always control what happens. But I would do everything in my power to make sure my daughter never had to experience that kind of betrayal again. As my daughter and I moved forward, I knew that we had a long road ahead of us. There would be challenges, moments of doubt, and times when the pain of the past would resurface, but we would face it together. I would be there for her, and she'd be there for me. And no matter what, I would never let her forget that she was loved, that she was enough, and that no one could ever take that away from her. As time passed, my wife occasionally reached out. Sometimes it was just a simple message, a brief apology, or a statement about how she regretted everything. Sometimes she would ask if we could meet, if we could try to fix things. But I couldn't entertain those thoughts. I had moved on. The divorce was final, and I had no intention of going back to a life that had brought so much pain and heartache. My focus was on my daughter, and I would continue to support her, no matter what. There were moments when my ex-wife would call, asking if we could meet up or expressing regret over everything that had happened. But each time I would remind myself that it was too late. We couldn't undo the damage. The past was behind us, and it was a time for both of us to move forward. I had to focus on building a better future for myself and my daughter. It was tough, but with each passing day, I became more certain that I had made the right decision. The hardest part was over. We had survived the storm, and though the scars would remain, we were starting to heal. My daughter and I were learning how to live again, how to find happiness in the small moments, how to appreciate what we had left. And that was enough. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey, did you call the movers yet? Were you able to get a reservation?
Oh, are you on break right now?
Yeah, I just got the finishing touches on my current project done, so I thought I'd take a breather before I start the next one. So what's the word?
Yeah, I booked them for next weekend.
Awesome. I was worried. Lately it seems like everyone is moving. The other movers we talked to were booked a month out.
I told you I'd get it done, didn't I? But yeah, this is pretty exciting. We're finally gonna move into our new house.
Right? We should consider ourselves lucky. Most people our age can't afford to build a new house. Everything's more expensive and no one wants to work construction jobs.
Thank goodness you had all that money saved up from before we got married. If not for that, we would have been stuck with a $1,000 a month mortgage payment for the next 30 years. But we're now homeowners and loan-free. Thanks a bunch for doing that for me, Rhonda.
Well, what else was I gonna spend it on? I can only buy so many shoes. Plus, like you said, we're now loan and rent-free. That's gonna be a big boon to our finances. We'll be able to save a lot more now. We'll make that money back in no time. Hey, so I was wondering, you have the day off today, right? Actually, I thought I saw you didn't have any shifts for the next few days. Would you mind using that free time to do some unpacking?
Yeah, sure, leave it to me. I want to make sure everything goes as smooth as possible when the movers get here. Plus, my mom was kind enough to offer to come by and help us out. I want to leave as little work as possible for her to have to do.
Right, your mom was coming by. She also said she was gonna take us on a little trip to celebrate the new house, huh?
Yeah, but it's just gonna be a few days at that bed and breakfast by the lake. Mom doesn't have it in her to go on any long trips anymore. You took the time off of work, didn't you?
I don't quite remember. I'll have to ask my boss.
Rhonda, you didn't take the time off yet, did you?
Well, you know, it's a really busy season for the company right now.
I knew it! What is with you, Rhonda? You've known about this for weeks now. Why haven't you asked for the time off yet? Do you want to go on this vacation or not?
It's not that I don't want to go. It's just, you know, your mom and I, we don't exactly have the best relationship.
Yeah, that's the understatement of the year. She hates your guts. I'll have to be careful not to leave you two alone together with any sharp objects nearby.
This isn't funny, Archie. You've seen the way she acts when I'm around. Every time I walk in the room, she gets this scary look on her face. It's so uncomfortable for me to be around her.
You should be used to it by this point. I don't know why it still bothers you. And sure, maybe my mom is a bit harsher on you than she should be, but are you gonna keep avoiding her like this for the rest of your life? She's your mom too now, so you need to be doing more to get along with her.
I would love nothing more than that to happen, but it seems like no matter what I do, she just hates me more. What am I supposed to do when she's like that?
Don't act like this is her fault, okay? She can't help it. When she was born, women stayed at home and men went to work. So she sees a woman like you who's making way more than me, and she just doesn't like it. It's like a gag reflex for her. The only thing you can do is keep trying your best to get her to like you.
I've been trying for as long as I've known her. How about this? I'll take the time off from work and go to the trip with you guys, but in exchange, could you tell her we don't need any help with moving next weekend?
Oh, come on, really? You're gonna make me tell my mom not to come help us? You have any idea how disappointed she'll be?
I know, but still, you said she can't handle long trips, right? What makes you think she'll be able to handle carrying box and furniture? I'd hate for her to hurt herself.
Those excuses aren't gonna work on me, Rhonda. I already told her that she can come, and she's really looking forward to it. Look, there's nothing for you to worry about anyway. I'll be there, right? I'll do whatever I can to make sure the two of you don't start butting heads.
I don't know if it's fair to call it butting heads. Your mom randomly starts laying into me about some random thing. I can picture it now. You're not moving fast enough. Don't set those boxes down so hard. Repack this box. You mix nonfiction and fiction books together.
Okay, that last one was an exaggeration. She's not that bad.
So you admit the first two sounds like something she'd say?
I told you, leave Mom to me. I've got a plan in mind that I am 100% sure is gonna have you guys getting along better in no time. Trust me.
Alright, if you say so. But whatever this plan is, I hope it's a good one.
Oh, it's gonna blow you away. What the hell, Rhonda? Where are you going? We were in the middle of a conversation and you just got up from the table and walked out the door. How do you think that made my mom feel?
Why are you more concerned with how your mom feels than how I feel? You said you were going to do something to help us get along.
Yeah, and I did! I came up with a surefire plan to improve your relationship. What more do you want from me?
You call that a plan? Are you out of your mind? You must be if you think that plan is going to do anything but make me miserable.
What's wrong with my plan? I thought it was ingenious. Think about it. The two of you living under the same roof, cooking together, eating together, cleaning together every single day? There's no better way to improve your relationship. It's either you start getting along better or you'll end up killing each other.
Yeah, and the later is far more likely. Though once again, it won't be me doing the killing.
You take that back right now, Rhonda. My mom would never harm you.
She's been nothing but awful to me, and you think forcing me to share a living space is going to make things better? No way, it's going to keep getting worse.
How can you know that without even giving it a try?
I'm not the only one who has to answer for anything, Archie. Let me ask you a question. I have not heard anything about this until today. Actually, it seems like I'm the only one who was out of the loop, seeing as though your mom was packing all of her stuff in the moving truck too. That means you and your mom planned this whole thing behind my back. Why did you make a major decision like me without asking me?
I wanted it to be a surprise. I thought you'd be happy.
You have to be kidding me! You thought I'd be happy to live with a woman who has never wasted an opportunity to insult me?
My mom seemed to be happy about the idea. We've been talking about it for a few months now.
A few months? These conversations have been going on behind my back for months? This is unreal! I can't believe you would do this to me.
I can't believe you would be so against the idea.
Really, Archie? This is the woman who asks me when I'm quitting my job every time I see her. She acts like it's a sin for a woman to ever set foot out of the house. There's no way I'm ever gonna live with her. Not a chance. I refuse.
I think it's time someone finally told you this to your face. My mom does have a point, you know.
Oh my god. What point does she have? Let's hear it, Archie.
You're my wife, but you barely ever do any of the housework. I'm the one who always has to clean up after your messes all the time.
What? Okay, first of all, no, you are absolutely not the person who cleans up around this house. When's the last time you ever did the dishes?
I'm pretty sure I did them last week.
Okay, well, that's a long shot from always, isn't it? Second, there's a perfectly good reason that you should do more of the housework than me. You only work 3 or 4 days a week. Have you forgotten that I'm the breadwinner of this family? I bring 80% of our combined income.
Oh boy, here it comes again. Go ahead, Rhonda, let me hear it. Tell me all about what a miserable failure of a husband I am and what a hard-working woman you are. Boy, I just love it when you brag to me about how much money you make.
That's not what I'm doing, and you know it. I'm just saying I work a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. You work a few hours a day, 3 or 4 days a week. Logistically speaking, you're at home an awful lot more than I am, so it would only make sense that you do more of the housework than me. What else are you doing with all of your free time?
Stop changing the subject. This conversation isn't about my free time. It's about you being terribly rude to my mom today. Now, you need to get back here and apologize to her. Then you can help her move her stuff into her room. She's tired and wants to lie down.
I will not apologize. I will not help her move into her room, and I will not allow her to live in my house. This is not up for negotiation.
That's my line. My mom is living with us, and that's final. Don't like it? Then get out.
You cannot be serious right now.
I'm dead serious, Rhonda. I'm putting my foot down. I am not going to share my home or my life with a woman who disrespects my mom like you. You can stay at a hotel tonight. Do whatever you need to do to cool off. As for us, we're going on vacation tomorrow as scheduled. Make your decision before we get back.
And what decision would that have been, Archie? Be specific. What ultimatum are you making here?
I think you know what I mean. I don't have to explain anything to you, so think long and hard about your future this weekend. All right, Rhonda, we're leaving the bed and breakfast right now, and we'll be back home soon. It's time for you to make your decision. What's it gonna be?
Welcome back. I made my decision. I want to get a divorce.
Unreal. You're serious about this? Once you make this choice, you can't take it back.
I'm comfortable with my decision.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal. You've lost your mind. What are you gonna do on your own? Sure, you've got a nice income, but you just exhausted your savings buying me this house. And you're just gonna walk away from everything? What an idiot. Fine, be that way. You have until sundown tonight to clear your stuff out of my house.
Hold on, Archie. What do you mean, your house?
What other house could I be talking about? This house, the one you bought for me.
I didn't buy it for you. I bought it for us, and I'm keeping it.
You can't do that. It's our house. That means it's part mine. You chose to leave. I didn't make you leave. If you're gonna walk away from this marriage, that means you're walking away from this house.
No, it doesn't, you moron. My name's on the title.
That doesn't mean anything.
It means everything, actually.
I'm not gonna play this stupid game with you, Rhonda. You think I don't know what you're trying to do?
Humor me. What am I trying to do, Archie?
You're trying to scare me into taking you back. I know, you're terrified of losing me.
My goodness, Archie. However, did you become such a brilliant detective? You solved the case.
Drop the sarcasm. You know I'm right. And fortunately for you, I'm feeling generous today. I've decided that I'll be the bigger person and forgive you for the way you treated me and my mom. If you'll come over here right now, get on your knees and beg for my forgiveness, then I'll take you back.
Oh, is that all I have to do?
I told you, I'm feeling generous. However, you have to get here within 1 hour. After that, the offer is null and void.
I'm at my parents' house. It's a 2-hour drive, so I couldn't do that even if I wanted to.
That's not my problem.
Would you like to know what is your problem, Archie? I sold the house.
More empty threats? Is that all you have? You can't sell the house. You need my permission.
I can sell the house, and I don't need your permission. You need proof? I already found a buyer. The sales was finalized earlier today.
No way.
I don't get why you'd be so upset. It should be good news for you. We're not divorced yet, so all the money I got from selling the house is legally a joint asset. That means when I divorce you, you'll be able to get about half of it.
That's impossible. We've only been gone for a few days. There's not a chance you were able to find a buyer for the house and sell it in just a few days.
The real estate market around here is red hot. Most places only stay up on the market for a few weeks tops. Granted, I needed to sell the house as soon as possible, so I had to take a pretty big hit on the price.
I don't believe you. You're bluffing.
If you don't believe me, perhaps the retailer sign with sold above it and the yard will convince you otherwise.
You probably just put that there yourself.
Okay, how about the fact that your keys don't work anymore?
Getting locks changed on a house can be done in an afternoon. You're gonna have to do better than that.
Alright, what would convince you I was telling you the truth? Maybe the fact that all of our stuff has been cleared out of the house and is totally empty?
You're too late to make up any new lies. We just pulled into the driveway. We'll see how empty my house is. Rhonda! Where is all our stuff?
Told you, didn't I?
You had no right to do that. Your name may have been on the title, but it's my house too. You need to have my permission before making any decisions about what happens to it.
Oh, do I now? Is that right, Archie? What about decisions like, I don't know, inviting my parents to live with us? Would I need your permission before doing that?
Obviously, yeah. You think you could just drop your parents on me without talking to me about it first? How could you be so... Anyway, you have no idea the kind of trouble you're in right now.
Hold on, could you finish that last sentence? You were talking about it being selfish for me to invite my parents to live with us without talking to you first.
That's not important right now. The important thing is that you will regret this. You said it yourself. You lost a ton of money on the sale.
Sure, but the loss I took was more than worth for what I got out of the deal.
And what's that?
Revenge. Sweet, sweet revenge. Your plan to get your mom to live with us was one of the most insensitive, selfish, uncaring things I've ever heard of. You know how terrible she treated me? I've been trying for ages to get you to do something about her, but you always just defended her. Well, now the shoe's on the other foot. How's it feel to get a taste of your own medicine?
No way. You did this just to teach us a lesson?
Nah, I don't think you're capable of learning anything. I just wanted revenge.
You've gone too far, Rhonda. You're sick.
I'm fine, actually. It's you I'm more worried about. What are you gonna do now that you're homeless? Move in with your mom?
I can't! She sold her house because she thought she was gonna move in with us. But I'll manage. I have plans.
Plans to increase your income about $1,000 a month, I hope. Tell you what, I'm feeling generous. I suppose I could help you out.
Really? I mean, I'd really appreciate anything you could do for us.
I'll give you half of the money I got from selling the house.
Whoa, really?
Sure, on one condition, however.
Oh no. I don't like where this is going.
If you come over to my parents' house right now, get on your knees and beg for my forgiveness. Then the money's all yours. Oh, and don't forget, you have to get here with Archie and his mom didn't make it in time. They did get a speeding ticket for their trouble, though. When he ran in the door, he immediately got down to his knees and apologized, but it was too late for him. I threw an envelope of divorce papers at him and made him sign them right there on the spot. Like I said, I had no choice but to split the money I got from selling the house with him. But even with as much money as he got from me, it wouldn't last long. He makes next to no money at all, and his mother has no savings left. Her only income is her Social Security payments, so they're going to have a pretty hard time of things from now on. As for me, being free from the stress of dealing with Archie's mother, I've been more able to focus on my work. My company has noticed my increase in motivation, and they're planning to promote me something in the near future. Also, not having to finance Archie's awful spending habits means I'm saving a larger proportion of my income than I ever did before. I'm working on building myself a new path in life for myself, one day at a time. My 10-year goal is to save up enough money again to build a new house for myself. I don't think it'll be very soon, but the day may come when I find someone who I'd like to share that home with. But this time around, I'm going to make sure he's not a lazy mommy's boy. I'm not wasting any more of my time or money on people who don't respect me.